really important to have a plan. Have a plan and understand what your goals are.
In fact, my camel out there is suffering right now with a broken back.
So I actually found Pepe when it was only a couple of hours old, and I'm like, oh, this is a funny meme.
Oh my god.
Yo! Who is this Degen?
The old man is swing trading over years at a time. And it's like, that's where the real money is made.
The answer is a permanent loss. With single-sided staking, you don't have to worry about impermanent loss.
And really, at the end of the day, it's just a matter of a macro market. It's just what happens.
If you're aware, if you're disciplined, you can hone that into further financial growth.
Financial freedom. So we can actually live life and not have to be constantly living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, more or less, right?
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody! Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crypto degenerates, ducks and squirrels, welcome to this here Whiskey Wednesday, Ask Me Anything Thanksgiving special. It's the year 2024, year of our Lord. A long time since sweet baby Jesus was born, and we're here to celebrate turkeys and friendship and kindness and having cool people in our lives and family and pilgrims and all sorts of fun things. My name is Will Stevenson. I'll be your host. Man, I have just all sorts of tongue twisted. My name is Will Stevenson. I'll be your host for this fantastic Degen Roundtable Whiskey Wednesday Thanksgiving special and everything. I am joined tonight by my two excellent panelists. We've got Mrs. Producer, Mrs. McGettit, an ideal team player in the making. For those of you guys that don't know, Mrs. Producer is the one switching the cameras and doing the Degen Roundtable chats, making the thumbnails, making sure we got all our social media stuff all taken care of. She is an outstanding producer, and we're super glad to have her with us tonight. And I'm also joined by her wonderful Mr. McGettit. We have Nate over there, the ascending man. Nate likes to go around and check out all of the other cryptocurrency communities and sort of kind of put out feelers and check out what's going on everywhere. So he's something of a networker, almost something of the sorts of that. And he also likes to focus on liquidity providing and building money printers and things. Ladies and gentlemen, what's new and exciting with you? How are you doing? What are you thankful for? What's up?
Well, I am thankful for the wonderful life that we have, for being able to go on this fun adventure. I actually said in our crypto chat, our crypto community chat, the Degen Roundtable chat down there, which, by the way, I think you should hold up your phone, go ahead, scan that QR code, get inside of there, because there is a lot of chatter that is very high value. And there's a lot of people who are questioning, like, should I sell this? Should I not sell it? Should I buy into this? Should I not buy into this? There's a lot of things happening. Oh, no, I just lost my coins. Help. What am I going to do?
Oh,
right. There's a lot of people who need a lot of help in there, and we give out as much value as possible, be able to help out as many people as possible. That's for sure. But yes, with that being said, I'm very thankful for the people that I've been able to go on this adventure with since 2022. And I mean, we're not done yet. We're not there yet, but things are certainly looking up, compared to the fun that was the bear market, right? And so, it's definitely looking like good times are here, as well as future good times are definitely going to be coming. And then that'll be a new adventure we can go on. And I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be here along with me, going on that new adventure whenever it does come. And I'm looking forward to it. And I'm thankful that I have the opportunity to be able to go on it.
Excellent.
How about you, Mrs. McGettit?
What was the question again? What am I thankful for?
What are you thankful for, and what's new and exciting with you?
Okay. I am thankful for Nate and my little Soren guy, and just the friends and family I have made throughout my lifetime who are still around and who I hope will be around forever. And as for what's new and exciting for me, I've been doing my biking, my exercise bike thing, and I have started recently playing Pokemon games and shiny hunting while I'm on the bike because it's fun. Why not? And today or yesterday, I switched to a different game. I was playing Pokemon Legends Arceus. I switched to Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, and I wanted to find a Charmander. And so I'm going around doing the things, trying to find the Charmander, and instead I found a shiny Dragonite yesterday, which is technically rarer, I guess. But anyway, so I broke my chain, I caught the Dragonite, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try again today. And I tried again today, and I found another shiny Dragonite, and I was like, what the hell? So I am having no luck with Charmanders, but I've got 2 shiny Dragonites now. So yeah, that's what's new and exciting with me, I guess.
You switched from a Pokemon game to a Pokemon game. Awesome.
I like it. I like it. Hey, from one wonderful thing to another. Speaking of wonderful things, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I have a little beer top remover thing that I like to take the tops off of beer cans with. And while I was taking this one off, it fell in and just went kersploosh and went entirely down into my drink. So I was been trying to fish it out for the last couple minutes. I'm sure you guys saw, but that's what's new and exciting with me. Life is good. Stuff I'm thankful for. Basically the same answer as you guys. I'm thankful for all the people in the community and all the stuff that and the fact that the SEC case against Richard Hart is going kaput, the fact that Donald Trump is going to be president, the fact that Elon Musk is the Department of Government Efficiency and it's named after ticker Dogecoin. So there's all sorts of cool things. I own exactly 1 Dogecoin, so I'm up pretty good on my investment. I think I'm up a 10 or a 20x or something like that. It's fucking silly, but I'm thankful for all the really awesome price action that's been going on recently. Hex has been doing a pump. There's been some other meme coins on the Pulse chain space that's been doing a really good pump. I just started liquidity providing on a V3 position to exit some stuff on as it goes up and earn fees in the meantime. So life is just very interesting and very good. So I'm super stoked about everything. I'm super stoked to have you guys here as a community, and the Degen Roundtable as in general is it's a great place to be. We're just a bunch of amigos that hang out and talk shit on the internet and things like that. And hey, speaking of talking shit on the internet, it's time to talk some shit about what the people at home are saying. So for the folks at home who are taking time away from their traveling or they're hanging out with family and you guys are watching us, we super duper appreciate it, whether you're catching us live or whether you're on the replay. It's time to do some motherfucking chat shout-outs. So Mrs. Producer, if you would be so kind as to pull up our first chat shout-out of the night. We have none other than Ken Turian54X saying, is it Turkey Day yet? I hope you all get to spend time with people you care about. You're exactly right, sir. That's what I'm doing right motherfucking now. And then tomorrow I'm going to drive down to Connecticut, and I'm going to spend some more time with cool people down there, some friends of mine from my military days. And then after that, I'm going to fly over to El Salvador, spend some time with other people I care about over there. I'm going to be missing Walrus, unfortunately. Walrus, shout out to you, Mr. Liquid Loans, man. I'm not going to be in the same area at the same time, but we'll have to meet up so it can some other time. But shout out to you, Mr.
That sounds
What's
that
up?
sounds great, Will. I'm going to cut you off really quick here. I'm going to read Moonpilled, and while I'm doing that, could you try to reset your mic? You've been overloading, kind of going in and out since we started here.
Oh,
And
yes.
I'm hoping it's just a quick switch on and off.
Yep.
While he's doing that, we've
catch.
got, for sure, we've got Moonpilled Rational Optics, one of our usuals here. Love this guy. He says, gentlemen, raise your glasses and eat hearty, for tomorrow we dine with family that will be survived, I think he meant served humble pie as they ask you about Bitcoin. How does that sound to you, Nate?
I think that sounds absolutely fantastic. And speaking of, I think that right there made me just go want to get a beer. So I'm going to go grab one real quick. Yeah. Actually, maybe I think I'm going to get a couple.
Is my mic better? You guys hear me all right?
Now you sound super echoey, like you're far away.
Oh, shoot. It's probably still on the webcam.
Oh, yep, it is.
That's what it is. My goodness. Ladies and gentlemen.
We're just full of technical issues tonight. How is
there
that?
you go. Now you sound good. Get loud real quick. Let's test that.
Getting loud real quick. Screaming.
Okay, yep. You are back. Take it over.
Okay. Where were we? What did I miss? Oh, No Money Mike saying, let's hear some stuff about things for today. Excellent to see you, No Money Mike. Mr. Producer, I'm going to go back and do Moonpilled Rational Optics because I neither heard nor read it on screen while I was fucking with my mic. Can you bring his mic up?
That's fair. I did read this one for everybody already, but you can go ahead and do it again. And I was talking to Nate about how we're going to be talking to my family about Bitcoin, so that'll be a lot of fun tomorrow.
Excellent. Ooh, that's going to be super
Talking
fun.
about
Yeah, I'm about to go hang out with people that I helped make a lot of money with Bitcoin. He doesn't pay much attention to the market, and so he was like, "Hey, bro, should I sell?" And I'm like, well, how much attention are you going to pay? And like, are you happy with the gains right now? And are you also happy with potentially missing out on future gains? And he was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, all right, cool beans. But yeah, shout out to you, Moonpilled Rational Optics. I'm glad that you're going to be hanging out with your family members and giving people the old slice of humble pie for missing Bitcoin. The important thing isn't so much
yes. The answer to that one is yes. Humble
yeah.
pie.
Yeah, like the goal should not be to serve humble pie. The goal is for them to eat it without you necessarily like forcing it on them, you know, because if you become the person that forces it, then in their mind you become the bad guy. But if you become the person that saves them from their feelings of eating humble pie, then you can be the cool person. So I would always recommend when talking to people who are doing silly things that you adopt the position of being the person that saves them from themselves rather than the person that that shows them that they're an idiot. So that's my 2 cents. But yes, I will definitely be doing that, Moonpilled. And then next up, we've got Mr. Ock Jockey, whiskey for my friends and a beer for my horses. You're absolutely right, M Rock Jockey or Mr. Ock Jockey, whatever your name is, that we will one day figure out. Good to see you, amigo. Welcome to the stream. Apologize, I am super thirsty. Next up. Next up, we got Tin Top, my favorite Mandalorian. What's up, Hexicans? What's up to you too, Mr. Tin Top? Good to see you, amigo. Welcome to the stream. Happy Whiskey Wednesday Thanksgiving stream, everybody at home. Next up in chat shoutouts, we've got Jonathan saying, hi, friends. What's up, Jonathan? Good to see you, amigo. Welcome to the chats. Another Degen Roundtable native exclusive, native exclusive OG, super cool guy. Good to see you, Jonathan. After that, we've got Tam saying, what's up, fam? What is up to you, Tam? Happy Thanksgiving to the #1 Hexaco, Pulse Chain, and cryptocurrency cheerleader that there is. Good to see all of you guys. Welcome. Oh, and we got another one popping up. Mr. Hexagon Lost in Asia is present and accounted for. Good to see you, Hexagon Lost in Asia. Welcome to the stream, amigo. I'm glad that you're able to make it with us. Make it with us. Yeah, make it here with us. Oh, excuse me, man. I'm just all sorts of like topsy turvy today, and I haven't even drank anything other than this vintage lemon lime seltzer, which is actually pretty damn good. But ladies and gentlemen, it's actually time for me to grab some whiskey because it is Whiskey Wednesday, and I'm going to be drinking a fancy whiskey tonight. This is Metcalfe's Vermont Maple Liqueur. So I'm pretty stoked about this one. And I bought this bottle specifically because it was Metcalfe's, and it made me think about Metcalfe's Law, which is for those of you that are new to cryptocurrency, that the power of the number of participants in a network as they double the value of the network squares. It was originally Metcalfe originally came up with this law in respect to phone networks, and it's basically like the more people that are in a phone network, the more valuable that phone network is. So you take a look at like AT&T, Verizon, like they're more powerful than like Cricket or Mint Mobile or like some other off-brand phone network that you don't know about. And this was back in the day when phone networks could only talk to each other, right? So like this is for like landlines and wires and things. So like that doesn't really apply anymore. But essentially, the more people that are in a thing, the more valuable it is. And that Metcalfe's Law also applies to cryptocurrency. And so because of that, when I saw this maple liqueur at the liquor store down the street from me, I was like, ooh, that's going to be the one that I'm having for Whiskey Wednesday tonight. And then I'll probably be dabbling in some of my other ones. I got some fun ones up there that we'll probably bring out as we're going down the stream and everything. I see that Jonathan actually has a question for me at 17 after. Do we spill some whiskey for kicking out the one of the bad Degen members? You know what? I have not kicked him out yet. And I'm not going to say his name because I'm not going to speak that evil into the universe. I will say that if I see him do one more thing, then he is out of here. He is gone. So as of now, he's been silent, and I've given him way more opportunities to be a good person than he deserves. And so one more thing and it's out of here. And I'm not even going to give a warning, but it'll just be like, all right.
I'll go ahead and say something on that. Like when you're in our Telegram, there's a lot of people that do come to us for help, and we give out as much value, as much information as possible as for you to be able to use those tools and then move forward and have it become the best for you, right? That you possibly could have. And the thing is that the only true issue that we ever take is if we're going to give you the knowledge, if we're going to give you the wisdom, we ask that you at the very least either say, okay, I got a different way of doing something, and so I'm going to try it that way instead, but thank you for the wisdom and knowledge, or at least actively try to apply that knowledge.
Yep.
As soon as you disrespect us because we're trying to help you, and actively not apply and say that you're not going to apply it, then it's sadly you're not going to make it, dude.
Can I correct you a moment here, Nate?
Yeah,
It's
please
not
do.
just it isn't even the not applying the stuff that we say. It's doing the direct opposite of the things
Direct
that we
opposite, yeah.
say, and then complaining to us about like like if we say, hey, don't walk in the street during heavy traffic, and then you go and you walk in the street during heavy traffic, and then you get hit by a car, and then you come back to us with broken arms and broken legs and being like, guys, I got hit by a car, can you please help me? And then we help you, and then we say, hey bro, now we've helped you out, don't go walking in the street when there's heavy traffic. And then you're like, okay. And then you go and walk in the street during heavy traffic, you get hit by a car, and you're like, guys, I got hit by a car again. I was walking down the street and somebody said, hey, you should go walk in the middle of that street with heavy traffic. And then you think, okay, I'll do it. And then you go and get smacked, and you come running back home to us again. And we pat you on the head and we say, hey bro, like, you really shouldn't do this, you know. And then it happens about 7 or 8 times in a row, and you keep coming back for help, and we keep helping. This is essentially what happened with this gentleman. I have a lot of patience. Agent J has a lot of patience. Nate has a lot of patience. There's a lot of us in the Degen Roundtable, like Telegram, that have a lot of patience, but like something that we have to do. And I'm not going to focus on the negative aspect, because the gentleman is just a negative person, and that's not the point of why I brought this up. The thing that I want to say here and is that we have to keep our area positive for everybody. So I've had enough of the negativity that's going on with this gentleman and him coming back and bringing everyone's day down, talking about how horrible his life is. So if I just start seeing it again, I'm going to have to trim it. And it's like, it pains me to do it because I want this guy to succeed deep in my heart. But at the same time, if he's going to be bringing down the morale of like the entire group, and every time he asks for help from people, he does the exact opposite and then complains why it doesn't work. It's like, look, brother, you know, if you just didn't do stuff, if you didn't do it right and didn't complain about it, it'd be okay. I wouldn't worry about it. But coming into our space and complaining about your bad decisions after we tell you not to make them is just not the way to go. So, like, all that to say is we want the Degen Roundtable Telegram to be a positive place. And so we're going to curtail all the negativity that we see. And that's like, you guys should come to the Degen Roundtable. You should join because it's a wonderful spot. And like, I hate to bring this up and everything on this day of Thanksgiving. So we're not going to be giving thanks for trimming members that are terrible or doing other things, because it hasn't happened yet. This, like, because today is the day before Thanksgiving, this is my final like moment of
He still has a
generosity.
chance.
I'm
That's
pleading
the
to
positive
him
thing.
to just not be negative. If you do
Yes.
anything except for be negative, then I will not kick you out. But if you start like if you do a like
If you keep getting hit by a car.
yes, if you go and get hit by a car and then complain about it, like if you get hit by a car and you don't complain about it, you say, hey, I learned this lesson this time, right? That is acceptable. That is good. That will make us all feel better, because we've all been telling you not to get hit by a car. So anyways, I don't want to dwell on this too much longer. Nate, I'm gonna toss it back
Let
to
me
you
go
because
ahead
you
and
had a
switch it over to something I'd like to talk about then.
yes, please do.
So, one of the worst things that you can do in crypto, especially now when people are starting to get a little more euphoric because of green candles, the worst thing you can possibly do is not have an abundance mindset, right? When you have a scarcity mindset, you start thinking, "Oh no, my coin isn't going up while these other coins are going up. Does that mean that I'm not making any money? Okay, so now I'm going to take these coins that are not going up and I'm going to go put them into the coins that are pumping." Okay, don't do that. All right. I've said it multiple times on my X feed. I've said it for a year and a half on this show. and just do not chase green candles. Okay, what you want to be doing instead, and go ahead and take this for what you will, but the way that I tend to go looking for things is but the way that I tend to go looking for things is it forgotten, is it hated, and does it have a good backing, does it have a good community behind it? And if it has a good community, I'm like, all right, so why don't people like it? And it's usually because of some sort of FUD event, right? That usually curtails, goes away, right? The other one, is it forgotten? Well, it's probably because there's a shiny object somewhere else that is taking the spotlight off of it, which means it's a good time to buy because it's not pumping, and it will eventually pump. So this, yeah, ultimately, don't don't get rid of your pulse to go buy PDI. I don't think that's the play right now. That's what a lot of people are doing. I would consider people not, or I would consider advising people to not do that. All right, not financial advice, but the other thing too is, in a scarcity mindset, a lot of people will desperately try and gather, as Richard Hart likes to say, pennies in front of a freight train. So if you're out there hunting around for airdrops, it's like, oh, I got $10 here, $10 there. It's like, all right, but you're clicking around on so many unknown links. How long until somebody DMs you something and goes, hey, by the way, free airdrop over here? You click it, and then next thing you know, it drains your wallet of everything that you already have, right?
Yes.
You need to be very careful with these things, especially right now. Like, what I legitimately have done is, for all the coins, every single coin that I'm just going to sit and watch go up like this, I've actually moved them over to a vault wallet that doesn't touch anything. Okay. And then from that wallet, I put it onto my Trezor. Okay. So the ones that I'm still playing with in my hot wallet, I'm still doing all that, and several other Condom wallets as well. But that vault wallet is just going to sit there until I'm ready to start moving things around. And this is safety 101. And I know it's like we need to go through this again, but the fact is, with where we're at in the market right now, this is one of those places where people start forgetting about safety and start getting desperate because they have a scarcity mindset. Everyone who's watching this right now, you need to have an abundance mindset. If you got your bags packed in Pulse X, Hex, the core fours, right? And then you've also got, you got some teddy bear. Maybe you got a little bit of PDI. Maybe you got, some 9-inch or whatever it is. It does just hold. All right. That's all you got to do. There are some people, like, maybe right now, because of, like, say, Pulse Chain Bitcoin is really taking off. Maybe you want to move some of those profits over into one of the core fours, right? That would be pretty smart. Okay. Especially if you're getting that feeling of like, oh, I need to sell everything, or I need to, like, start moving everything into this thing that's pumping, right? If you start getting those feelings, that's a good way to just sort of satisfy those feelings, and then you don't harm yourself. Okay. But abundance mindset, you are pre-rich right now. Okay. The only thing with being pre-rich is you need to wait. And we've been waiting for 3 years. I think you can do it for a few more months. Come on, guys.
Yes. And there's something to be said about like not exiting a position that's not doing well and locking in a loss. If you lock in a loss, then you're locking in a loss. Like everything is on paper until it's not. So like if your portfolio says $10 million and you can't withdraw the $10 million, then it's like, or you haven't sold it into something that you can withdraw $10 million from, then it's a paper net worth. And so, but like I'm gonna not even bother going down that rabbit hole. I want to stick to the abundance mentality that you were talking about, Nate, because that's a really good point. Like not even just in cryptocurrency, in everything in life, like if you have an abundance mentality, the thing that people can do is they can go out and they can interact with the materials at or very close to the surface of the earth, and in so doing create something that is profitable, and then they could give it to other people in exchange for things, and in so doing they essentially print money out of thin air. So when you go to work and you flip those burgers and you hand that burger to the guy out the drive-through window, you're printing money because now he has given you his money that you did not have before. You had these garbage little hamburger ingredients that you stacked on top of each other, wrapped in a piece of plastic, threw it in a microwave for 20 seconds, and handed it to him out a window. And now he is one hamburger richer, and you are $5 richer, or whatever the number is. So like by going to work, you're literally printing money. So you can always get more money. You can't always get more tokens or more coins because the prices are going up and the prices are fluctuating and the prices are moving. So if you already have the coins and you're getting rid of them, or the tokens or whatever they are, if you already have them and you're getting rid of them because you think that they're not worth anything, then like they I mean they factually might not be worth anything. And everything is a risk, everything is a gamble. But if you lock in a loss, if you lock in no profit, then you miss out on some of the coolest parts. And historically speaking, and as far as like all the patterns of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency goes, it seems to me that we're in the very beginning part of all the cool things happening. We're in the post Bitcoin halving year. The elections just happened. We're breaking all-time highs all the fucking time. Like Bitcoin went from fucking, sub 70,000s to over 90,000 in like fucking 2 weeks, or like a week or some shit like that. It was fucking crazy. I don't know what the price is right now because I don't actually look at prices very often. I mostly just I come on stream to figure out what the prices of things are, truth be told. But like, things are okay. And if you fumble your bags now, then like, it's your prerogative to do. I hope that you don't, and I hope that you do excellent things and you don't make scared decision or non-abundance mentality minded decisions. You can always, like, if it goes to zero, then hey, it goes to zero, right? Like, oh no, I guess I'll go pick up a shovel and dig ditches on the side of the road for like the DMT or something, right? The Department of Motor Transport, the highway guys with their little sign spinning and whatnot, which I've seen that they're starting to replace with robots now, which is pretty fun. It was fuck, what state was that? That was in like Tennessee or something, or West Virginia, where they had little
Good, I
robots.
agree.
Yeah, little robots that like they detected cars and they did the red light, green light. It was basically a portable traffic light. But anyways, like back to, let me rewind. Right, you can always make more money, unless you're like a quadriplegic and you're blind and you're deaf and you're mute. I mean, even then, there's probably something you can do. You could probably be a YouTuber. I'm sure, as I'm aware, there's a YouTuber who's got no arms, no legs, and he makes a boatload of money. There's plenty of ways that you can solve people's problems in real life to make money. I was on the phone with Sam earlier today. Shout out to Sam, my brother with Rapid Designs. I was on the phone with him and we were doing sales calls, and we were thinking about like the abundance mentality, both in like the number of prospective leads that we have, and also the abundance of like value that we could bring to other people's lives. If you're able to do things that are valuable for people, then you don't have to worry about like penny pinching and saving and like surviving. You could be like, you know what? I might lose my job. I might lose this $100. I might lose my house. I might lose my car, but I can always go and become valuable to somebody. And in so doing, I can print money. And by printing money, I can save a portion of it, right? Just like the richest man in Babylon, you save one copper piece out of every 10, and you pay yourself first, right? If you still have the capability to produce value, even if you don't have a car, if you don't have a house, you can always like go and do things for people and print more money and make more gains and save more wealth. You won't be able to do it as fast as if you make the good decisions, but if you make a bad decision, it's not the end of the world. Just adopt the abundance mentality when it comes to everything, when it comes to money, when it comes to women, when it comes to like the choices that you have in life, when it comes to the resources that are around you, when it comes to friends. Have an abundance of friends. Just have an abundance of everything. I just have an abundance. All right. That's all that I got on this. Mrs. McGettit, do you have any thoughts on how people react differently, or how they act differently when they're desperate, when they're hungry, when they're craving something, versus when they have plenty?
Yeah, of course. When people are in that position of, I guess you would call it maybe FUD, honestly, they tend to make irrational or emotional decisions, which are rarely helpful in the long run. So yeah, I know that's kind of short and simple, but that's basically my thoughts on it. So if you've ever, I guess one thing I have done, and this didn't end up going well because I mean it wasn't really okay. I'll just tell you the story.
Yeah, go ahead.
At one point, I used to get into like a lot of arguments with people over Facebook. This was years and years ago, like probably almost 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
And if they
Me
would,
too.
if it got to the point where it's like, okay, you are really making me mad, I started blocking them. And it was like a temporary thing, so that in my mind, that was the way that I could cut myself off from continuing the conversation and potentially saying something really stupid or just like losing friendships over something honestly silly that, you know, when you look back at it and you're like, oh, that was dumb. Um, it worked and it didn't, because some people got really offended because, you know, not everybody likes being blocked unexpectedly. But yeah, I don't do that anymore now. I just like basically just put the phone down. But yeah, back in my youth, in my early 20s, I guess that was one thing I did to prevent such emotional types of decisions. And yeah, I mean, if you have to go that route, because that's the best thing that you can do to keep yourself from doing something irrational that you might regret later, then I would say maybe that's a good choice to take. Otherwise, you know, if you are in the right mindset enough where you can just put the phone down and walk away for a while, that's a great option too.
The you had mentioned something about the abundance mentality and like and people being like desperate, and that reminded me of like an animal analogy where like an animal that's starved and cornered will be much more desperate and will react much crazier and much less like rationally and reasonably than an animal that isn't, an animal that has like plenty of food or like lots of attention or love or resources or whatever. And like I just got to thinking like don't be that animal. Don't be in that instinct mode. I think that that's what really happens. Like Nate, would you agree that like when someone gets to the point of like of non-abundance, like if they're in the scarcity mindset, they're going to be acting way more emotionally than they are rationally?
Oh, absolutely. And that's also so because the only thing that stops people generally from getting scammed, right, is the logical thought process of, hey, wait a minute here, right? I mean, that's how we all do it, right? So as
Yeah,
soon as you're
scams,
emotional and you're
scams
desperate,
target the emotion, right?
right, you become a target. And then people actually seek you out to target you. So the more emotional you end up getting, the more desperate you end up getting, the larger and larger of a target gets painted on your back. And there's actually there's a thing where even if you're getting more desperate, more emotional for some kind of achievement, right, or some kind of goal to be met, you still there are some people who are successful will still act as though they have plenty of confidence, plenty of abundance, just because they don't want to fall for that target.
So like the fakers or something, the fakers are in the scarcity mindset because they're pretending that they have a bunch, but they really don't, and they haven't.
No. You can be in that scarcity mindset, but some people will fake not being in a scarcity mindset. They'll fake being in an abundance mindset because they don't want those scammers, those people to target them. So they'll fake it.
Oh, so that's like a protection thing. I see that our
Yeah,
cameras
it's
are
pretty good though, right? It's a good idea. It's
yes.
something I'd heard that a lot of people with rich people with a lot of money, they'll do that type of thing.
That's awesome. I like it. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we have another person. Oh, we don't know if he's ready to be added yet. I will wait on the announcement until I see. If you amigo, if you are ready to be added, go ahead and put it in the private chat. We see that you said what's up, guys. As soon as you get your camera and everything situated and ready, we'll bring you on in here. But I like that we've got someone joining us, ladies and germs, an excellent Degen of times of old. Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome Sounds by Sino. What's up, broski? Our very own Niles Jenkins from the Degen Roundtable. Happy Thanksgiving.
Howdy.
I guess
Howdy. How is everybody?
We're doing
Is my mic good?
fantastic.
Yeah, your mic
dude,
is
we
good.
can
We
hear you just fine. How are you doing?
Beautiful.
What's new and exciting with you, bro?
Man, life is beautiful, brother. I would be a fool to complain, man. I would be a fool to complain. Man, I got a lot of irons in the fire right now. Couple NFT projects I'm working on. You know, like I said in the chat, was able to kind of get away from the old 9 to 5, get away from that soul sucking fluorescent lighted EMF box, you know, focus on health and some other things. So man, I want to say a lot of that is due to the community that you guys have put together here. So, you know, kudos to you guys and thank you for that. How is everybody?
broski.
Yo,
Yeah,
I'm
we're-
not gonna lie, bro.
Go ahead,
Seeing what you did there, you were like what 85% memes and then like 20% or 15% chorus. I'm like, God damn, I thought I was the meme guy over here with like 30%.
Yeah.
Can you give a brief explanation for the? So there's probably folks at home that are watching that don't know who you are from the channel and don't know what you're doing. For them, I'm going to give a brief description. So Sounds by Sino, he's a Degen in the Degen Telegram, and this man's a fucking genius, right? So he has made enough gains in his degenerate plays that he's been able to quit his 9 to 5 job, and it's been what, about a month now, something like that.
Correct.
Yeah, so he's been free of the shackles of working for the man for about a month because he's made some excellent decisions. He's done a lot of research. He's paid really close attention to what's going on in the things that are in his life and the projects and the things that he's looking at and investing in. And he's just done a fantastic, awesome job. So this is Sounds by Sino. I don't know if we could call you Niles or Niles Jenkins or anything, but yeah, broski.
Whoa, ease up off the government, brother. Ease up off the
Okay.
government. I'm just playing.
All right. Okay, that's your tag in Telegram. But yeah, dude, it's good to have you, man. It's good to have. So where did Sounds by Sino come from? We know that. So for the folks at home who don't know, you make music and you actually dropped a banger in the chat earlier today. So can you talk a little bit about your music background?
Yeah. So I started basically. It's in my blood, right? My father was a very incredible man. Passed away a couple years ago, but he was a very talented musician. He was a high school track star, broke a lot of records, ended up playing in the NFL for about 5 years. Redskins won a Super Bowl with the Raiders.
Hell yeah.
Played for the Chargers where he ended his career. And yeah, he learned to play about a dozen different instruments. He majored in music, and so it's in my blood. And I started. He bought me a guitar when I was probably in 4th or 5th grade. Bought me an electric guitar. I really liked punk rock at the time. I was skateboarding, you know what I mean? So like I was in that phase. Yeah. And yeah, he bought me an electric guitar, and I ended up studying classical guitar in school for 9 years. And then, you know, there's not really a lot to do with classical instruments. Naturally, I after I got out of high school, you know, quit practicing, kind of the skill kind of fell by the wayside. And then someone that I was playing basketball with regularly, he was doing music production, and he was actually rapping at the time. He's one of the most talented people that I ever met. And I was just like, hey, brother, like, you know, how are you doing this? He's like, oh, I got this program, FL Studio, on my laptop. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Could I pull up and see it sometime? Showed me, you know, I pulled up on him. He showed me how to work the program, you know, just the basics. And, you know, I've been doing it, you know, that was 2014. So I've been at it for about a decade now. And yeah, that's how I got the musical chop. So I actually am a classical trained musician.
That's fucking dope, bro. That is so cool. What's your instrument of choice? Because I know we've got quite a few musicians in the cryptocurrency space. We've got oh crap, I forgot the rapper dude. Damn it. He's the one who made the How Big's Your Sack on Pulse Chain. We've got Chris the Degen Black Saint. Mr. Angry Twinkie is a fucking whiz on guitar. My brother plays the freaking the piano and the marimba. Like, we got you do your mix. What's your weapon of choice?
My weapon of choice is the computer these days, electronic production. But yeah, the only instrument that I have conquered is guitar, and I can't even say that I've conquered it anymore because I'm so rusty. But there's a point in time where I was quite impressive as a classical musician. So
okay.
Dang, that's kind of like me. It's been such a long time since I picked up the guitar, but I used to be pretty damn good at it.
No kidding. Bro,
Yeah.
I would love to see you play some guitar, Nate. That would be
See, for me
kick-ass.
though, I'm not classical. I'm heavy metal, so
Word.
I'm on that side of things. I think our music, our music choices here, our favorite types of music are probably like opposites. You're like, you love the super chill stuff, and me, I'm like, I just love that chaotic, loud stuff.
No, I like a little bit of everything. You'd be surprised.
Oh hell yeah! All right, excellent.
That's
I love it.
excellent. If we're admitting about things that we're bad at playing, I'm bad at playing the bass, and I'm also bad at playing the ukulele. But I'm a little bit less bad at the ukulele than I'm at the bass. I picked them because they got four
That's
strings,
fire.
and I got four fingers. That was my reasoning. I was like, guitar's got too many strings. I don't want nothing to do with that. Like, give me the bass. It's got four, and like I stuck with it. And then the ukulele is just like a very small. So I was like, oh, I can carry this with me all over the place. And so I fiddle around with the ukulele and whatnot. But I'm not good by any means. I could play like 4 or 5 chords in a pattern, and that's about as far as I go. But that's awesome, dude, that you made a. So are you looking to make a career out of this music stuff now that you're free of the government shackles and you're free, like you're more financially secure in things? Do you think that you're going to pursue a music production thing? Oh, we've also got like gentlemen like Dace Northal, who does sound producing like on the stage level. So is
Yes,
that
sir.
something you're thinking about doing in the as a like a profession or something? Or you think you're gonna go crypto full time? What are you
Yeah.
gonna do?
Yeah. Shout out to Dace. Shout out to Dace on the ones and twos.
Hell yeah.
Audio engineer over there. So that's a great question, Will. No, is the short
All right.
answer. What
Okay.
what I've realized is that when you accumulate money, you will realize that your creativity is sacred and it is not to be pimped out unless you yourself are a hoe.
You know
Right?
what? That's good. I like that. I'm gonna write that down. Keep going though.
That is the absolute truth of the matter. So there was a point in time where I very much wanted to you call them placements, getting a placement on, perhaps a Drake record or something. And I've got many friends in the music industry who have placements with Drake, Lil Wayne, Future, Isaiah Rashad, Meek Mill, right? However, I'm no longer in a space where I want to chase that. And I felt like for a time, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, where I could feel this adversarial nature between, wanting to make money off of, my creativity. But I've found that when you chase money, I saw this great clip of I'm blanking on who said it, but he said that when you start to bring money into the equation, that's when God leaves the room, right? And he said that melody is God's voice, right? And that stuck with me. So there's this very adversarial nature, where when you start to put a price tag on things, especially your creativity, you stop doing it for the love. You stop trying to create the purest thing that you can. And my belief is that we're fashioned in God's image, which is why we are creative, right? Creation, it's an extension of our gift from God, essentially. So yeah, I'm no longer in that space. But I do believe that if I continue on the path that I'm on, all those things will come to me. But it's just no longer something it's no longer something that's on the forefront of my mind. I'm sitting back and letting it come to me. It'll happen naturally if it is meant to.
Okay. I like the way that
I highly
you
agree with
frame
this.
that. Go ahead, Nate.
Excuse me. So the reason why people would want to pay you to create something is because you create really good things. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you go to a business model of I'm going to now create things to get money, you no longer are looking at the most creative thing that you can do that you love. You're now looking at what's the most popular thing, all right, and the most trendy thing. And when it's that when everyone is special, nobody will be, you know. So that's ultimately what ends up happening. And so what I think this thought process of yours is absolutely spot on. The money will come to you, and maybe it's not going to come to you in such extreme droves, right? However, it's going to be coming to you to the point where you're, number one, satisfied with what you do. That, by the way, is happiness, okay? And number two, you are actually gaining money out of it too, so that you can, doing the thing that you love, you can actually continue to pay the bills, right? That right there is technically the greatest dream you possibly could have. I love doing what I'm doing, and I'm paying the bills to do it.
I like, ladies and gentlemen, we have another guest joining us right now. Speaking of music and speaking of guitar, I will announce him in just one moment. We've got Mr. Angry Twinkie, the one, the only pulse chain guitarist, bassist, extraordinary yellow delicious sponge cake snack. We are joined by Mr. Angry Twinkie, ladies and gentlemen. Before I toss it over to you, Mr. Angry Twinkie, I got some notes on what Niles was saying, and so I just want to run off them real quick. And the thing that I love about what you were saying, Niles, is that the creativity is like the not pimping it unless you're a hoe. It's basically, you have two frames. You have the frame of money and you have the frame of creativity. And if you try and fit the one inside of the other, then the one that's fitting inside the other is the big one's bitch. So if you try and fit the creativity inside of the money, the creativity, just like you're saying, is pimped out to the money. And if you try and fit the money inside the creativity, then you can. It depends on which one matters to you more, and that you don't care about the other. That's the one that will automatically fit inside of it, that will shift inside of the frame of the other. So it's like what you guys were saying was super on point there. And then the other thing is that, like, what Nate was talking about with the incentives and everything. One of the books that we're going to cover on Book Club is Drive by David H. Pink, which talks about, like, why do people do things when people take the trash out to the front of the road because they enjoy it and because it makes their house nice. It's a much different, like, reason for taking the action than if you're taking the trash out because you're paid to do it. Once you start adding money into things, once you start adding the financial incentive to it, then it changes the reason that people do stuff. But anyways, enough about that. I want to introduce Mr. Angry Twinkie and give him a moment to talk here. You're saying in the private chat that your ears are burning. You hear talk about guitars and stuff. Welcome, broski. Happy Thanksgiving. How are you doing? What's new and exciting with you?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. What's new and exciting? Speaking of the production side, I think I heard, FL Studio. So I'm assuming Fruity Loops on that. Your boy was showing you around. And I know the app. I've used a few different digital audio workstations, but Christmas came early for me. So I was doing some, holiday shopping for myself. And long story short is I got a matching bass drum or kick drum for my drum set. I was looking for this one specific size that I haven't seen come up on sale anywhere for a few years. And one came up. I was like, I got to go get it. So pulled the trigger on that, made that happen. So looking forward to getting that set up and getting a chance to, run through that. As far as things I am thankful for during this holiday and Thanksgiving season, thankful for certainly the opportunities that just embracing the crypto space has given me thus far. Some folks have seen some of the toys that certain gains have given me, or like the opportunity to network with all the fine folks here on screen and some of the folks not on screen. Shout out to my brother from another mother, Crypto Boogie. Just getting a chance to know people, going to these different meetups. And, I think Niles got there a little quicker than I did. I look forward to having some of the same problems. Real quick, my commentary on that side of things is, I think the incentive kind of drives it. And if you're working with good individuals who perhaps want to pay you, they may be paying you to be you. So for example, I'm not going to play guitar and do music like Niles does, right? He's not going to do it like I do. I'm not going to do it like Nate does. And that Rick Rubin, for anyone who's in the production side of things, I think he's interesting in that he gives the artist a ton of leeway, and he's just trying to let them be themselves the best they can be versus trying to drag them in a specific direction. So yeah, thankful for all the opportunities, and looks like we got a crew rolling through.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Y'all are rolling
Yes.
deep.
Indeed. All right, one moment, gentlemen. So I'm going to announce you guys each one at a time. We're going to start with Nate the Great, then Gaines by Casey. Gaines, just so you know, your keyboard is super loud as usual, buddy. And then I'll toss it over to Agent J. So, gentlemen, in that order, Nate the Great, welcome to the show, amigo. Happy Thanksgiving. What's new and exciting
What's up, guys? Hey, good to see everyone. Nothing crazy here. I got the correct, appropriate
My
hat
man.
on there.
Bro, you look like Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, you like that?
That's sick.
I've been hiding this away out of shame for the last year and a half. Now I can pull it out and start wearing it around.
Hell yeah, dude. What's good? What's good? I love it. Yo, so for the folks at home that don't know, you've been on a kick-ass fitness kick, and you have made some excellent progress, right? Do you mind talking about that for a short second before we toss it off to Casey?
Are you thinking about the guy who lost weight, or
Nate the Great has been talking about being in the best shape of his life.
Oh yeah, that was my goal. I set about a year ago, because I have one more year till 40. I think I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
But definitely been dialing it in. I really want to go into those 40 is a really good time in your life because you know what you want, you know who you want to be with and around, and you don't care too much. Well, you really don't care at all what a lot of other people think anymore. So it's a good time mentally, usually financially, but I wanted to make sure that physically, because I have a lot of, my peers are, they let themselves go in their 30s, and then, in a lot of ways, 40s is difficult, especially if you have kids. Like I have an 8-year-old son, and I want to be as active and as engaged in his life, not as I'm trying to keep up, but I want him to keep up with me.
Oh yeah.
So that's my goal. And it's been going really good. I'm trying to lower a few things, but with Jay's support, with a bunch of other people in the fitness channel, and then just with kind of a new, I don't know, I think as you get older, you don't have as much energy and as much raw strength, but what you make up for in strategy and determination. And my workouts now are not like they were 20 years ago at all, but I get way more out of them in less time, and it's feeling good. I'm doing really good in that aspect. Right now I'm drinking something that I really enjoy. We have some friends, and they're from Italy, and they brought Italian blood oranges over 30 years ago and planted them on their property. And so they gave me this this blood orange juice, and man, talk about making good drinks with that stuff. That fresh squeezed blood orange juice. Oof.
That is excellent.
Yeah, so that's that. I think as far as anything cool planned for the rest of the year, I got some big plans. I can't wait to see if the 2025 meetup goes down. That would be really incredible.
Oh, it's going to happen, Mr. Nate the Great. Come hell or high water, I will make sure that we all meet up in Miami in the Q4 or fall time or something like that. So that's going to happen. So put it on your calendars, ladies and gentlemen. I've spoken it into existence. 1 year from now, the Degen Roundtable first annual official IRL is going to be happening down in Miami. So jot it down, clear your calendars, get ready. But yeah, bro, it's going to be awesome. But go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, big things planned. I still have long-term goals to probably move out of the U.S. We'll see if those become more short-term goals depending on how things go. But if any of you guys don't know me, I'm out here in San Diego, so we get to enjoy the brutal 72-degree weather November days.
Oh, I don't know how I don't know how you handle that, broski. It's like a nice, calm and relaxing 35 up here in New Hampshire where I'm at right now, up at the very north tip of the state where it's all windy and mountainy and everything. So I don't know how you're dealing with those terrible degrees down there. But listen, I got to toss it off to the other guests here because some people have some time constraints. We will get back around to you once
Absolutely.
we're
Thank
done
you.
and everything. But next up in going around the horn, we got Mr. Gaines by Casey. Mr. Casey, sir, what is new and exciting with you? Happy Thanksgiving, broski. What's up?
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, guys. Cheers to all of you. Not too much, man. Just kind of the end of the year. It's been pretty wild how fast 2023 and 2024 has gone by. Looking at it now with the holidays, that time between, Thanksgiving being tomorrow, from there to Christmas usually flies by, and then before you know it, it's after New Year's. And then we're in 2025. So just doing a lot of reflecting, having gotten back into the space in 2021 and just making a commitment to really try to learn the market, figure out how this works and how best to take advantage of it, and just fully throwing myself into it. It's pretty wild how fast it's gone by. I know 2022 and 2023 for a while felt like a very, very long time. Especially I know all of us have been working a ton of hours just to try to put more money in. So it's cool to kind of see it all come to fruition. So definitely thankful for the whole community and everybody that I've met, all you guys. Can't wait for the meetup. And also one thing I'm very thankful for, I've only told this to, I think 1 or 2 people from the team or community, but I'm going to have my first kid in April. So
holy shit, yo!
Very thankful for
Yay!
that.
Oh my
boy,
gosh,
here you
bro,
go.
you're going to be a dad. Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully a son. Hopefully a son.
Yes, that's what we're hoping for. We're not finding out until the birth, but we want to have probably 3. So if not this time, then we got 2 more tries.
Oh my god, dude, that's so awesome.
Thank you.
Wow.
I appreciate that.
When's the baby due? Do you know
April
what time
3rd.
of year? April 3rd. Oh,
April
we're
3rd, yeah.
we're counting days, bro.
Yeah, but that's speaking of time going by fast. That's going by real fast. Also, over halfway
that's
now.
coming up, dude. Well, congratulations, broski.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
fucking amazing.
Appreciate
Not to
that.
interrupt,
Thank you very much.
but I want to pop in and say hopefully that baby is one day early, and then it'll be my birthday buddy.
Oh, dang, nice. Yeah, I'll keep you posted on that.
Excellent.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Bro, that is what a tough act to follow. You left Agent J, bro. That's awesome though. That's great news, Casey. I'm so happy for you, dude. That's
Thank
so
you, man.
fucking awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate
Happy
that.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you
And
as well.
man, what a great community we have here. Agent J, broski, what's new and exciting with you, man?
Look, well, I don't have to, I don't have to be the center of attention all the time. So, we can dap up Casey this one time. He's having a baby next year, man. So,
This is great though. Oh my god.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's a blessing. Casey is certainly contributing to, not contributing to the declining birth rate that's being experienced worldwide. So kudos to you, Casey.
Thank you, sir.
As far as what's new and exciting, I mean, since I last saw you guys like a few minutes ago in the chat, not really, not that much. But as far as what I'm thankful for, go ahead, Will.
Did you do a video thing today?
No, sir. But I'm always in the chat.
I got you.
Giving
Okay,
people updates.
Disregard.
So it's like I'm never too disconnected from the chat at all. So, but as far as what I'm thankful for this year, I've already mentioned it a little bit earlier in the Telegram, but not only do I have a wonderful team who I always tell these guys that when I first met them, I was so thankful because I didn't feel so fucking lonely anymore. I have a lot of close friends here in Arizona, people that I would consider family, but unfortunately nobody has the same vision as I do, right? It's like I felt like I was the only one going in one direction, aside from like maybe one other friend, but because he's also extremely busy, trying to grow his business, we rarely are able to connect. And I understand that, but you spend such a long time being a singular entity with a singular mindset, and that can get really lonely. And then I stumbled across the team at the Degen Roundtable, and I was like, wow, other people like me exist out there who have a similar vision, going in the same direction, and we can all lean on each other. And over the past year, we have taken that and have expanded into a community that's almost we're greater than 400 members in the Telegram chat. We've got over 1,000 subs in the channel, and every single day, every single show, that seems to keep growing. And I have now expanded my circle of people that I can trust because they're competent and we're going in the same direction from the team of 10 that we originally had to now over 400, right? And some of those faces that I see right here every single day, and in the chat. So I can't be more thankful for anything more than that. So it's definitely a blessing. And cheers to another year with you all. And cheers to the bull market of 2025 that seems to be right on the edge of tipping over.
Cheers, Jay.
Cheers,
Hey,
amigos.
handshake.
Yes,
Cyber
sir.
handshake.
No,
Yes, love it.
Oh, you guys finally did it. Excellent. That's so good. There's so many fun things I want to do with like being able to like go off screen and like hand someone like an apple or something, and then they pretend to like grab it or something. Man, there's so much fun things, dude. One of the other fun numbers that we stumbled past, I think it was last night, was we reached 69,420 messages in the main chat. So shout out to you, Degens, for finally passing that 69,420. We're doing pretty good. Gentlemen, the floor is open for communication. What do y'all want to talk about? What's on your mind lately? Somebody raise your hand or come off of mute so that I know you want to speak. I see Nate the Great is up. What you got, broski?
Oh, I just wanted to say for Casey, congratulations. And it's like there's big chapters in life. Getting married I don't know if you're married, but I'm assuming you are. But it's a big chapter, and becoming a father is like the next level chapter. And for those of you out there that don't have kids or won't ever have kids, that's fine too. But definitely you learn a lot, and it grows you in so many ways. It's a blessing, even though it's difficult. And trust me, it's really difficult. It's so worth it.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. It's something, just finding out that it was going to happen. I feel like it's already made a big change, but I know it probably pales in comparison to what happens when the baby's actually born. So appreciate that. I'm looking forward to it.
One question: how long have you been together with your wife/girlfriend?
The beginning of 2023.
Okay.
Yeah, so pretty short,
Well,
but it was kind of one of those things where we just met and pretty much clicked right away. And then all the time in that first year, kind of trying to figure out what we were doing, I just got like a lot of green flags and very few, if any, red flags. So it's like, that's
cool.
This is the move.
Well, I'll give you one.
Oh, go ahead.
One word of advice: don't become a parent that gives up your life for your kids. Bring your kids along into your life.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Yep, we're
that's beautiful.
That's another thing where we're very much on the same page. Like I think our plan as of right now is to homeschool and can just continue to travel a lot and then bring them with us and have them learn about dating devices and things like that. So yeah, that's definitely a point that I need to keep in mind. And I'm glad that you said that. It gives me some kind of reassurance for sort of our plan with it.
Yeah, and one other thing to add too, as your kid grows up, you start realizing that you need to take a little bit of, maybe some crypto research time to go help out the kid, right? So she will end up taking time out of your day.
Sure.
It can be quite a bit of time as well. So
absolutely.
Just fair warning.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
You know what I've noticed about people that have kids? I'm definitely planning to have some of my own in the future, but you know how we always say that money is an amplifier? Children seem to be an amplifier as well. People that I know for a very long time who've had children, once they found out, like Casey alluded to, right? Once they found out, things kind of got kicked into overdrive. And I think that's so true because people who are hardworking folks, when they find out they're having children, those characteristics get amplified because they want to become even better versions of themselves, to set an example for their children, to give them the life that they might not have been able to have. So congratulations to Casey. I think you're going to be a absolutely wonderful dad.
Thanks, Russ. I appreciate that.
It's so great because people become wealthy in money, people become wealthy in friendship, and then like children are essentially it's you, but you get to live on into the future. So like you get to become wealthy in your identity and how you're moving forwards and stuff. I want to take a moment, actually toss it over to Twinkie, who's been saving some thoughts up for a while. Twinkie, what do you got on the what do you got to say, broski?
Yeah. Casey, if you are willing to reveal any names picked as of yet, or are you going to play that one close to the vest?
Yeah, we have names for both. If it's a boy, it's going to be Wilder, and if it's a girl, it will be Kalea.
I like it. I like it.
I thought if it was a boy, it was going to be Satoshi, but
No, not Satoshi.
And then just to quickly, let's say, build upon what Jay was talking about, and in a very similar but different fashion, Casey, and my experience has been in my travels. There's a lot of I got a lot of miles alone, traveling across continents and all over the world. And as Jay was indicating, at times it's a real lonely stretch, right? Am I the crazy one here? And so along the way, sometimes just been myself in my own mind. And I've seen, it also talking about certain things from earlier on that stream, because I was listening in the background. I got to quote Layla Hormozi on this one. Fuck your feelings, stick to the plan. Number one. Number two, I can't profess these are all original thoughts, but it's kind of the amalgamation. I think through our travels in life, you're generally looking in your travels for people who are largely headed on the same direction. And for me, my analogy is it's a lot like hopping on a train. You're going to meet different people on the train. If you're lucky, with a number of them, you'll be headed in the same general direction to the same general stop. So what does that overall train look like? Let's say in a more concrete element. I think it's value, visions, lifestyle, and goals. And if you're in alignment on those things, you with, be it, your spouse, your partner, your significant other, your business partners, your friends, your crew, you're probably going to go pretty far as a team on that front. So I'll leave you guys with that one. That's just some quick departing thoughts for the evening. Thanks for having me on, guys. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Stay safe out there.
Real quick, before you go, Twinkie, where can the folks find you, and what do you have going on in the near future?
Yeah, at Mr. Angry Twinkie on virtually everything. If you punch it in, you'll find me. I'm pretty active on Twitter, Telegram. Certainly, you can find me in the Degen Roundtable chat. I generally co-stream once a week over on Boogie's channel, guesting on there for tacos and kimchi. I think our next one will most likely be Sunday night, where we just talk mad shit and look at the market. So,
excellent.
Appreciate it, gang. Thanks.
Hey,
see you guys.
I will find your links and drop them in the chat. Peace out, amigo.
Before you head out, I gotta give this man his flowers, because I caught his stream with Boogie the other night on Monday evening, and he downplays himself sometimes. He says he's not as an adept as a technical analyst as some of us here. But I mentioned this during our Tuesday show, because I told him, hey, go check out that stream, because Twinkie, he might not be using the same indicators, watching the same things as we do, but he does his own type of analysis, right? Because like he says, right, he said in that stream that he can outsource our type of technical analysis to me, to Boogie, to Zenith, and then he's off going on and doing his own type of technical analysis, right? And so the combination of those things put together is fantastic, because as he pointed out in that stream, he was coming, when he consults with us, we come up with very similar conclusions in terms of the price, in terms of the timelines where Bitcoin is going, and that's coming from a whole bunch of different variables. So he might not be the kind of technical analyst that me or Z or Boogie is, but he certainly is a pretty fucking good technical analyst in his own right. So I got to give him his flowers, because he certainly opened up my eyes to a lot of different things that I never would have considered looking at.
Thanks, Jay. Means a lot. Appreciate it, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe out there, guys.
Night,
See you, bro. That's freaking excellent, man. We got such a cool community, so many cool people. We got Sino making music, we got Nate figuring, getting healthy and drinking delicious oranges. Games by Casey is having a fucking kid. Man, I did not expect all this stuff to happen tonight. By the way, this is crazy. I saw a couple people on the sign up poll, and then a couple people thinking about joining in. So it's great to see you all. I'm super thankful that y'all were able to carve the time out to come and hang out with a couple of degenerates and talk some shit on the internet. Mr. Sounds by Sino, I see that you are unmuted, sir. I want to toss it over to you. Do you have any thoughts on the things that are going on of late?
Sorry, should I stay muted, mate? No, sorry. Repeat your question to me, mate.
No, my question is what do you think of all this stuff going on, all this crazy cool market stuff going on, of Casey having a child, Nate getting fit, all this crazy things happening? What do you think of everything that is fantastic? And do you have any thoughts on anything we've talked about, or anything that you want to talk about? Basically, the floor is yours. If you if there's any
My
thoughts.
thoughts, man. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Myself, I'm in a season of growth and self-development. I feel like it's coming very rapidly, and so I love to see everybody else is not to get all like woo-woo magical, right? But I think that it seems to me as though the universe is kind of in that sort of a space. And I think it's beautiful that, you know, the blessing that Casey's gonna have here. I think it's beautiful that Nate, even into his 40s, has a growth mindset. I often will tell my friends, especially those who are younger, that you're often going to meet the same people in different bodies thousands of times, right? I've met the same people, and some of them are musicians, and some of them are basketball players, and some of them, you know, are degenerate gamblers, you know, here in the crypto space. Jay and I had an interesting talk about something going on in the community earlier. You meet the same people over and over, man, and it's people who are just on this automata programming, just like running a script, you know. So it's beautiful to see people who are, you know, striving to continue to grow. And yeah, man, I find it really inspiring. I find it really inspiring, and I'm grateful to be around it and to be able to feed off that that synergy. And you know, that when I see all that resonance stacking, it makes me want to continue to grow myself. And even, you know, the other Nate, right? Like I was actually going to tell you this in, you know, which you had DM'd me, but I was going to tell you that I think that it's a beautiful thing, and it's no coincidence that your tagline is the ascending man. It's no coincidence that you yourself have associated with that idea of ascension, right? And yeah, it's no coincidence that everybody who's here on the panel, everybody who's here in the community, no coincidence that everyone has kind of wound up here, right? No fluke.
Yeah, when you hear, we always kind of make fun of or at least me and a few of the people in the chat, we always kind of make fun of the saying we're all going to make it, because we know that at the end of the day, crypto is a PvP game, and most people don't make it when it comes to the world of crypto and investments in general. But when I interact with our community on a day-to-day basis, I can tell that at the very minimum, right within the microcosm of our small Telegram channel, I know that most of these people are most likely going to make it, because when they say they're going to do things, they actually go out and do it, right? When they say they want to make life-changing money, they actually go out and do the work and do the due diligence to put in the time and the effort to study, whether it's on TA, whether it's fundamental analysis, whether you're checking out on-chain data, whether you're networking, trying to pick the brains of other people who have a little bit more knowledge and a bit more wisdom than you within the space. So at least within the small microcosm of our community, I think we're all going to make it is a bit more true than it is generally applied. So I 100% agree with Niles.
It definitely seems to be the case, and I think that it's one of those variables that is independent of your position in life prior, you know, your status, you know, where you're at in your financial journey, in your life journey. But the kind of epidemic that we see around us, especially in the Western world, is, you know, apathy just in general, and no interest in progression, in moving forward, and growing, or in holding yourself accountable, having, you know, responsibility for your decisions. it's always everyone else's fault. It's easy to be the victim in any situation. And those kinds of toxic traits, the real toxic traits that actually infect your life and can ruin relationships and goals and everything, those bleed from one aspect to another. So it's beautiful to see a community that, yes, we have a focus. It is this one part of life, but those traits seem to be more across the board with a lot of our members in many aspects of their life. It's visible, and I think that it's pretty apparent if you know what you're looking for as soon as you join and talk to a few people. And that's really what makes this, the name doesn't belie the community. Degen Roundtable comes across as very lighthearted, but there's really a lot of depth, and that's what I really appreciate about it.
That was one of the main goals, actually, Nate. It's like to come across as just the great value degens, but there's a lot more depth past the surface, right?
Mhm.
I think you use the word apathy. It's a great way to describe something that Sina was talking about, right? That when he notices people throughout his daily life, he notices that most folks, they kind of run on this kind of automated sequence, right? And apathy is a good way to describe that. I think there's nothing inherently wrong with it. I don't know if you guys follow. He's a really big entrepreneur. His name is Gary V. I think he's based out of New York. And one of the things that he harps on whenever he speaks about this kind of situation is, I don't mind that people are satisfied, right? If they're happy with their lot in life, then they've basically already won, because most people are not happy with their lot in life.
Mhm.
But what he can't stand is when people are not happy with their lot in life, but their actions are completely antithetical to what their words are saying, right? They say they want to be successful, but their actions are antithetical to it. And that's what I see with people who are they're apathetic, right? If you're happy and you're content, there's nothing wrong with that. But I see a lot of people who go about their day to day, they raise their fist against the government, they raise their fist against God, telling why, woe is me, why is it me? Right? But they don't take any action in order to make the change, right? It's either they deflect, right, like you said, Nate, they deflect the responsibility onto somebody else, or they play victim. They never take on that 100% self accountability that it seems like plenty of us here have certainly taken on. So you hit the nail on the head there for sure. I think apathetic is a good way to describe that, but certainly not the word that I would use to describe all of us here.
Well, and what's interesting about that, Jay, is that the people that say the one thing and then they do the other and then they complain about it, they're essentially liars that are unaware of they're either negligent liars or they're malicious liars that are purposefully gaslighting themselves into believing it. And so that's why we don't like those types of people, is because one, they're not in tune with reality. They're not able to achieve results and eat a slice of humble pie to figure out what's going on and to correct themselves. So it's like, I don't want to be in a foxhole next to somebody who doesn't know that there's rounds flying overhead. I want to be next to somebody who's a competent individual, who's capable. They don't have to be the best person in the world, but they have to know what's going on and understand how to adapt to what's changing and everything. And when you surround yourself with people that complain about things, and then they go through the opposite actions that are antithetical to what their stated goals are, and then they bemoan about it and they belabor it, and then when presented with correction, they ignore it and they do the wrong thing again, and then they just keep going down this road and keep doing it's an energy vampire, it's a drain. And so that's the thought that I had on that, is those type of people, they essentially amount to being liars, and we don't like liars in life. Nobody likes a liar. There's nothing wrong with someone who fluffs the truth up to make you feel good, but to people that are out there being malicious and they're out there taking your resources from you, those are the type of people that we want to stay away from. And
Agreed.
we don't have to worry about that here in the Degen Roundtable, because we're full of a whole bunch of good people, and occasionally we have to trim out some of the bad ones. So we'll see if the bad ones stop acting bad at some point. Hopefully so. And if they don't stop acting bad, then we'll snip, 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 go the hedge clippers, and away they go.
Yeah.
But we're not worried about that. We're focused on the positivity and the cool things happening. Like Casey, bro, you got a fucking child coming, dude. Like I'm still not over it. Like I know I'm not related to you, but I'm like adopting the mentality of like the adopted uncle, and I'm super fucking happy for my family member who's got a fucking kid on the way, bro. That's so fucking awesome, man. That's
Yeah,
so
hell yeah,
cool.
man. You'll definitely be the an honorary cool uncle for sure.
Yes, I win. That's
Hell yeah.
awesome, dude. Yo, you had said that you have a semi tepid or semi rigid out time. How much longer do you got with this, you think?
Yeah, I think probably now would just be a good time to wrap it up and head out.
Okie dokie. Well,
If
where
that's
can the
cool with
folks
you
find
guys.
you, and what have you got going on, and what are your thoughts?
Yeah, if I'm in Telegram most, just Games by Casey. You guys can DM me or just tag me in any of the chats there. I'm on Instagram. I haven't been doing a ton of posting on there, mostly just shit posting memes and music stuff that I like in my stories. But I do like DMing and laughing at funny stuff on there. But yeah, no, outside of that, mostly Telegram is where I spend most of my time now. I'm just trying to really lock in. I doing as much as I could to not, fumble the bag during accumulation with learning just like best practices. And now most of my focus has been on, working off the assumption that I will make a nice profit. Now I have the problem of, now I have all this money. How do I not fumble that? So I'm trying to look ahead and research kind of what my best options for that are. So mostly Telegram is the best place to reach me at. But yeah, just wanted to say thank you guys so much. I think this community is incredible. I was on here maybe 25 or 30 minutes, but in that short time, just some of the conversations that we've had here was very beneficial, to say the least. I thought, Sino, your quote about meeting the same person in different bodies, that really kind of was a light bulb moment for me. It was something that I think I've noticed but never been able to define in a succinct way, like how you said it. So that was very cool and something that I'll be thinking about quite a lot. And then both Nate and Jay, what you guys were saying about how there is a certain level of apathy with a lot of people that you meet and feeling lonely in the process. I definitely could relate to that a lot before, meeting the people that I've met through crypto. So I hope you guys have a great holiday and a good Thanksgiving, and that, you guys are all a big inspiration to me to work harder and to try to be the best version of myself, so that, as I continue to meet more of you guys in person, we all have a cool network of successful, competent people. So thank you.
Likewise,
Excellent.
brother.
Thank you, Dace.
Likewise,
Happy Thanksgiving,
absolutely.
broski.
All right, guys, have a great one. Thank
Bye,
you.
Casey.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, man. It's like if you walk around day to day and you're Niles, right? And you're like, shit, man, there's a lot of these automatons walking around. Like, how could you not feel lonely, bro? Like, because you feel so out of place.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of going out the weekends, partying, like drinking, engaging in recreational drugs, right? You're like Casey's over here working like overtime in the evenings, right? He's handling his business in the morning. He and he's not ashamed about it, right? He was like, yeah, I'm going out and flipping pizzas in the evening because I need more dry powder. Like, a lot of people will look down their nose at that and like, flipping pizzas, right? But then all of us here, like, well, yeah, man, he might be flipping pizzas, but he's gonna flip your net worth in like a year or so.
There you go.
Right? It's like,
Yeah.
and you just feel so fucking lonely. But you find a community like this, like, oh shit, I can't believe it. Finally, other people who have escaped the matrix. So, like, just gotta echo that again, how valuable this whole journey with the Degen Roundtable and the build out of this community has been. It's like, I'm generally a very grateful person. Right. I always think every single day you have on this earth, you should be grateful for, because there are people who are not here to complain about the things that you're complaining about. So it can't be that fucking bad. But over the past year, my experience here with you folks has definitely been one of the, let's just say 2023 and 2024, I've had more to be grateful about than any other point in my entire life.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just to continue off of that, it's kind of in the word, right? Like, if you think about it, you're all of us here in a lot of ways are exceptions, right? So if you're going to be exceptional, right, that existence is naturally isolating, right? There's there's a quote that I love that the blessing of intelligence is balanced by the burden of the unintelligent, right? So I really resonated with what Jay was saying earlier in the chat about how I asked everybody to name one thing that they'd be that they had been grateful for, and I specifically said the community, and Jay said, you know, that he completely agrees that just coming to this community is it's like a weight off the chest. But the truth is that that is the feedback that you're actually looking for. And without naming names, there was somebody in the community whom we had everybody has tried their best to help the individual out. And you know, I wish this individual well, but I had said in the chat that because they are not yet ready to receive the medicine that all of us are trying to give him, that would indicate that the medicine that they need is suffering. And when they've had enough of that, they will pull themselves out of their own miserable existence, right? And so
Somebody clip that.
the
Hour
truth
25.
is that the world is nothing but a mirror, right, that reflects back to us all of our own strengths and all of our own inadequacies, right? The reason that I like people like Nate and, you know, both Nates, and Will and Jay and Casey, the reason why I like all of you guys is because I see myself in you, right? I'm looking at a mirror and you guys are reflecting back to me qualities that I appreciate. And unfortunately, the opposite of that is also true. And so when you see somebody who is just mired in mediocrity, mired in negativity, right, and almost cannot seem to get out of their own way, that's the mirror reflecting back to them. And unfortunately, they, like I said, most people are they're not truly paying attention and they're just sleepwalking through this existence. So they never truly comprehend the message that the world is trying to reflect back at them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It makes me think about in the Bible, there's a verse that talks about the man who looks in the mirror, and then when he walks away, he forgets instantly what he looks like. And it's like the point is like you're looking at yourself and you're self-analyzing. Don't just walk away and forget it. You know, it's an action that you have to follow through with, and you can't, you know, on our end, you can't invest. You can only invest so much in helping someone improve. If they don't want to, you have to at a certain point be like, look, it's actually beneficial to kind of like walk away.
Yeah.
Because that might be the impetus that they need to go, okay, what's really going on? The problem's me.
Yeah.
They were trying to help me this whole time. So, you know, and I think that, you know, to kind of be like realistic, as our community grows, it's a numbers game too. We're going to have more people that don't have the same kind of conviction. And I appreciate the fact that you as admins and, you know, you guys that are taking the lead are seeing that now before it's an issue and really deciding, you know, the right way to go about it so that it doesn't become a problem that corrupts and infects and potentially silences people that legitimately need help and want it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The thing
you guys
about,
both. Go ahead, Nate. Go ahead.
yeah. The thing about people is that they need to be able to help themselves first. So I've been in that dark place. I've been where he has been. Okay. And the thing is, as of like spring of 2022, right? I decided I'm not going to go down that path because I absolutely need to be the best version of myself that I can possibly make, at least in this dimension, right? And so that's what started me, even though there's been a lot of dark valleys I've gone through, it's still the ability to pull yourself out of it. And that ability to pull yourself out of it is by saying, maybe I'm not going to make it, or I'm betting I'm not going to make it, but maybe there's a chance I can. And with that tiny little glimmer of hope, it's that little tiny bit of sun light that you just grasp onto and you keep walking towards.
Yeah.
And then eventually things like Degen Roundtable pop up, and then you get people who can help you out. And then you start latching onto those people, being like, what am I doing wrong here? Is there something that I don't see? And then you can improve from there. And at every single step, you are ascending to a new level. That's why for everybody watching, I want you to do one thing every single day that you think is a tiny little bit of an improvement for who you were yesterday.
Small steps. Yep.
Exactly.
Small steps build momentum. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like Nate the Great said, and Nate McGettit gave the good example of, right? The impetus for change came from himself, right? You know, both Niles and Nate alluded to this, and they couldn't have been more correct. Is that, you know, you can only help somebody so much, right? The best thing most likely is to walk away and let it figure it out themselves. One of my mentors always told me that you have to be careful when people ask for help, because they might not desire it and they might not actually need it. And to be very careful of trying to take people's problems away from them, because by taking those problems away from them, you've also taken away their ability to solve it for themselves. And that might be a greater disservice.
Absolutely.
In the long run. Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I wanted to say on this is basically what you just said, Jay, kind of going off of that point there. You're absolutely correct. I'm just like you guys, I'm not going to name any names, but in one of the groups that I help to moderate in on Facebook, we had somebody who was much like that. They always had something going wrong. They always had something, just some drama in their lives, and they had to talk to the rest of us about it. And for a very long time, all of us did everything we could within our power to just help them and comfort them. And one person took it a step further to be like, let me help you get out of this situation and get you somewhere better. And they were like, yes, okay, let's do that. And then the time comes to like, hey, I'm going to move out and go live somewhere else and get out of the situation. They didn't do it. And then they got very abrasive about it. They were just like, their temperament went from like, hi, I'm miserable and sad all the time, to hi, I'm trying to like unalive myself. It just got progressively worse. And the thing was that they did not want help. And it took the other person who was putting so much time and effort into helping them, and they're a strongly emotional person. So they're hearing about all this because they're telling them actively like, oh, I'm doing these terrible things, and expressing all of this to them, and they're just crying and sobbing, and like she can't help. And it just, I mean, eventually it reached a point where she had to walk away because there was nothing she could do. The person even admitted, I don't want help. Like they just changed it around completely by the end of it all. I'm like, I don't want help. Then they just wanted to be that negative presence dragging everybody else down. So when you reach that point, when you get someone like that, you need to think about you and not let them, damage your life so badly that, you can't function anymore. Because that's what happened between these two. And it was terrible to see. It was just so awful to watch. And I mean, I got very upset because, this person is my friend. They were both my friends, but the person who they're dumping all of their trauma onto, like, it wasn't deserved. And it was just, you know what I mean?
Well, instead of just one person being ruined, now it's two, and so it's like sometimes and it's really tragic to see, because we want everybody to do well and we want everybody to be awesome and fantastic. And
They will. Speaking of, you said instead of just one, now you've ruined two. I don't know if you probably have, because you're former military, but do you know how they teach you how to save somebody who's drowning?
Yeah, you knock them out. Or no, you let them drown first, not knock them out. Excuse me. You wait for them to stop. Like you wait for them to become exhausted. You don't
Yeah.
hit them.
Yeah.
But the point is like you can't save them if you're getting knocked out because they're throwing elbows and stuff. You
Yes.
wait for them to become all squiggly limp noodle, and then you go in. So it's like, yeah, you have to remove the problem. You have to. It's man. This reminds me another military analogy. If you're in a firefight, right, and one of your buddies gets shot, and there's still bullets flying downrange towards you, you don't go out and save your buddy until you establish like superior fire. Because if they're still shooting at you, right, and you go to save homeboy and you get shot, now congratulations, there's 2 people down. So you have to take care of the problem before you administer like the first aid. Like there's a priority of things that need to be done in a very specific sequence. And like when it comes to dealing with people that want to commit suicide or that want to be negative all the time and just inflict their will upon the world, then like they have to do the work themselves. You can't just like throw all of your energy into a bottomless pit and expect to get a return. And so that's my thoughts on that. Another little analogy there. I see that we have another person joining us, Mrs. McGettit. It looks like he is ready to join. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Paul Sachs with the Elon Musk Hexagon background. What's up, bro?
You said just one person. I see 2 people that joined us, man. I didn't know you were such good friends with Elon, Paul.
Elon's my boy.
He's chilling at your house. That's awesome, dude. What's
Clearly your boy. He's breathing down your neck.
What was it? What was his hex? What was his hex thing?
Jeez, Elon's a lot bigger in person than I expected him to be.
Hey, real quick, everybody, before we get too far, Nate's got to take off. Nate the Great, where can the folks find you, and what have you got going on the near future? And also, final thoughts before you disappear.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It was really nice being here. I am no socials anonymous. I try to mostly stay off that, but you can find me in the chat, and I look forward to big things in the future. Everybody, stay safe. Don't eat too much, and remember that like I think it was Casey that said it before he left, that start studying about risk management and financial management right now, because imagine the horror stories in 8 months, 12 months from now. So all the people that are going to make it, and then what happens? They lose it all. So stay away from leverage too. Don't forget that. But you guys have a good night. I'll talk to you soon.
Excellent. Happy Thanksgiving.
Great one.
Hey, Will, before you toss it over to Paul,
yes,
I'm gonna also take a moment to bow out. My Miss McGettit said she said something along the lines of that you essentially need to focus on yourself. And while I do agree, I think I wanted it. It reminded me of something that I've learned. I wanted to share this without turning it into a therapy session, but I've had a very, we'll say, turbulent relationship with my mother growing up, and as a younger man, I resented that because I always try to leave people better than I found them. I always want to be a source of inspiration and positivity for people. And I think that's completely natural, right? If especially, like from my perspective, why would you have a child if you're going to treat them so poorly? It makes no sense. However, I realized as I've matured that from, that's a valid observation from an ethical, moralistic perspective. But at the same time, I was being very selfish because the truth is, like I alluded to earlier, that is the life that she wants, right? We all have free will, and it's selfish of me to look into another person's potential and see that candle that burns within them and wish that it would burn brighter. But it's not my place to stoke that flame, right? And personally, I know myself that wasted potential is one of the it's one of the most frustrating things for me to witness. But again, it's back to that mirror. That's just something that lets me know that I need to not waste my own potential, and that I need to not try to control things that are uncontrollable. And so that's the final thing that I wanted to leave everybody with. And thank you all for having me tonight. I hope that my words have found everyone in good health and good spirits.
Excellent. Cito, thanks for joining us, amigo. Where can the folks find you, and what have you got going on in the near future?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Sounds by Sino, right here. Yeah, so I've got like I said, I've got a lot of irons in the fire. I've got a couple NFT projects. Hopefully I have a third one that will be incorporating all of the Degen founders. I will have to see if there's enough time for this cycle, but I will be doing that project. I know that you might not remember, but I've DM'd all of you at some point asking for some interesting details about you. I'll definitely give more details here in the coming months, but I also just be on the lookout for this this beat that I did with Sami. Me and Sami got a little collab going, so well, I'll have more in the near future on that.
This is excellent, broski. I've gone ahead and dropped your link for your Instagram down in the chats. Thank you so much for joining us, Sino. This has been absolutely fantastic. I love your insights, and I love getting to hang out. And congratulations, you were the first Degen to join us here in the Bar Hoppers on this fantastic Thanksgiving Whiskey Wednesday.
Yes, sir. Numero uno, baby. Thank you, guys.
Sure.
Everybody, take care.
Put a face. See you, man.
Happy Thanksgiving. Mr. Paul Sachs, now that we are done with your extremely long introduction, how's it going, broski? What's up?
What up?
What's new
What up?
exciting with you?
Happy Thanksgiving, boys. Good to see y'all.
Yeah. Good to see you too.
What a wild month, or what is it? 22 days since the election, right?
Oh man, dude. Like,
wait, it's been 22 days already? What the?
5th, right?
Yeah.
Wow, time is flying. Holy moly.
Yeah. Time flies when prices
It's been
rise.
so crazy, Paul. I don't know if you've noticed, but Hex is on the verge of making a new all-time high. Paul Shane Hex. The real Hex.
The one without chart history.
not that fake shit.
Oh, geez. Yep. Yeah, all-time high. Well, hey, just feels good to say it finally after being here for how many years, and what is it called? Sadistic buy-in. Go lower. Buy-in. I guess I'm losing money today. Come on, gotta focus on number units. I get more number units. These things suck. They're not worth a whole lot, but I got more of them. Maybe someday. Well, that someday has been the last 22 days. So thank you.
You know what's interesting about what you said there, unit numbers, is like now that it's on the opposite end of that, you're like, damn it, I'm buying in, I'm getting less.
Yeah, it is kind of depressing. It is it is weird to try and now FOMO the opposite side and go, I know I'm in that weird little zone there before it starts to go parabolic where we never return to this price range. So like get what you can, why you can, because you're never coming back to these prices again. You're actually in that price zone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
It's
know
always
what,
kind
Paul?
of bittersweet. Go ahead, Miss Producer.
That just brought up a memory for me. There was one point in time when, like 6 or 7 years ago now, I wrote down, like I have, I collect Pokemon cards, and I have PSA graded cards, and I had went through and looked them all up, and I wrote down all their values. Like I just made this big list, and then I found it like years later, and Pokemon did a massive boom during COVID, and I found it like sometime after that had happened, and I took a picture of it, and I sent it over to my friends, and I'm like, wow, look at this old thing. And one of them just pops up and he goes, you will never see those prices again. And I'm like, I'm just glad I still have most of these. So
oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, regardless of the pain that was the entirety of 2023, well, mid 2023 to most of 2024, I think we can all say here that at the very minimum, our Hex bags are in a better position than they were back in the top of 2023 before the fork happened.
Yeah, it's one of those things like Cassie, like you. I've so my parents used to say by the time I was probably midway through college, I'd owned and traded more cars than my dad owned in his entire life at that point. So, but I always I think there was one car that I actually lost money, but I always made money on cars. It didn't matter if it was little or a lot. I always was able to be profitable flipping cars. But that led into eventually when I got into guns and rifles, I quickly caught on. I was like, yeah, the new stuff, it's okay, but it just doesn't shoot like the old stuff. There's just something there with the old wood guns from World War II and before. So I was collecting those back like 08, 09, 2010, before the prices ever boomed on any of those things. And then I kind of quit for many years. And I want to say it was a few months ago. I went and looked at I bought a few Swiss rifles. I had no idea what these things even went to. I'm just like, you hold for a long time and price all of a sudden one day you wake up and you're like, whoa, that's a lot higher than I paid.
I know exactly. You're talking about the K11s or the Schmidt Rubens and whatnot. Those are some fucking fantastic nail drivers.
I have one K11. I have a K31.
Yep.
But yeah, I just had them in my hand. I worked. Well, this was before I ever worked at a gun shop. I had them in my hand. And I was like, this thing runs like the finest shifter you ever shifted, just pushing a car through gears. Like you're just like, this is like this. Somebody spent some time making this rifle. It's a very neat, straight pull. So you could just tell there was value there, but it was way more than $150 or $200, whatever I paid for those things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Those are fucking beautiful piece of machinery.
Eventually, if you you can relate it to crypto. If you buy the right crypto, that at least now it's a whole nother way of analyzing. You do need a community. If you're the last person there holding it and nobody else is around, well, does it really who are you selling to? Does it really have value? Have you built anything, or are you just the last sucker holding it?
Are you sending an email to yourself, as our good friend Zenith would say?
But so I don't believe any of these they're going to go the way of the dodo like that. But Hex, I do believe doing a 15-year stake, you're not going to be the last one sitting around someday, and you're the only one holding it. The community seems to grow. The numbers, the metrics online, and just if you hang out in the chats or you're around, you look. There's just more and more people showing up. You're like, I've never seen that name before. Never seen them before. So
yep.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys go ahead, Cass.
The other day I found out that I still have XRP. Like I bought XRP like 3-4 years ago. I don't remember how long it was. I think it was. I went and looked, and I think it was like 3 years. And I bought it when it was over $1 at the time, and then it's just been like meh, dead. I completely forgot about it because it's on some app called Uphold that I don't even think I ever verified myself on. So I'm not sure if I can get it out. But I went in there the other day because I remembered, oh yeah, like they won the case or whatever the situation was with them, and I'm finally making money. It's like $20, but hey,
it's $20 more than you had 4 years ago.
Exactly.
Was XRP? Correct me real quick. Was XRP the one where when you buy it, when it goes to a wallet, there's always a balance? Like you can't ever go to zero in the wallet, right?
That would make sense.
Maybe I'm the person that bought it clear back in 2014 when the code base you couldn't ever. So if I remember right, XRP, there had to be a balance, a minimum balance, no matter what, of always 200. So like on an old cell phone, on a Toast wallet, I don't even know if those are around anymore. There was, I had tens of thousands of XRP in there that, I paid nothing for back then. But I don't even know where that phone's at, by the way. Probably in some junkyard or
bucket.
Who knows? Yeah, right.
That's awesome. I have a super non sequitur for you guys. I had pulled up Deck Screener, and for those of you guys that use Deck Screener all the time, they did a new thing. If you have a watch list going on the far left hand side of the screen, if you have a watch list assigned to your wallet, it now shows you what chain the assets are on with the little chain icon. So I don't know if if this is new or if they'd always done that, but I've got a whole bunch of different coin chains inside my one watch list, and it's showing me a whole bunch of Pulse chain icons. It's showing me a whole bunch of Ethereum icons, whole bunch of other miscellaneous chains icons, like for whatever chain your token is on, or whatever chain the liquidity pairing is on. That's a cool new feature, because you guys are talking about price. I'm like, I wonder how my portfolio is doing. I pull it up and everything's in fucking green, and it's like, oh, that's kind of cool to see. Nothing but, like 10, 15, 30, 50%, like everywhere around is like, oh, that's pretty nifty.
It is pretty nice to just come home after work, pull up D-Bank and be like, oh, I am up some money. That's nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's not real money until you sell it, but it's like, hey, we could still have these nice feelings. Hex is on its way to hitting a new all-time high. Like all of the pulse chain, like so much stuff is.
You guys are responsible. I have the portfolio tracker on my phone, and refreshing every hour or every couple hours is kind of difficult not to.
Oh
yeah, especially nowadays, man. When you go in there, you're like, whoa, I'm up. How much? Like how many percentage points? And then you're like, the percentage points is impressive, but usually those things are in like the 3 digits. But then you look at the translation into dollar valuation, and you're like, whoa, that's a lot more than 3 digits.
Yeah. It's like, geez Louise, what's going on here?
Yeah.
It's craziness. Well, listen, guys, we're winding up on the 2-hour part of our show. So let's get in some final thoughts before we go around the horn and do our shout outs of where we can be found and all that stuff. Anything you guys want to talk about before we end the show? Things you're thankful of, or things you're looking forward to?
I want to know. We all have our favorites here. I want to know what's something that you guys are invested in, right? Probably crypto, because we don't invest in anything outside of crypto. That you think is being slept on. That's not named Pulse Chain.
Oh, non-pulse chain? Okay, I haven't gone that deep yet.
Not on Pulse Chain, or not the token Pulse Chain?
So not non-Pulse Chain as in non-Core 4. Like it could be within the ecosystem that you think is being slept on, or outside.
Yeah. So I have a bunch of them, but I'm only gonna name 2 of them for now. Well, okay, I got a lot of them, man. Yeah, I'm only gonna name 2 right now. So what's being slept on currently is Solid X, or Solid Index, if you'd rather. The only reason why Axis is going up right now is because of Alive. That's literally the only reason. Otherwise, just the Solid Index in and of itself. Those 4, Nope, Fire, Axis, and Solid X. That definitely being slept on right now. However, I've gotten some rumors, and I've talked with some people about that there's some there may or may not be a project coming out that's really going to be helping out Solid X, burning it and everything. Solid X does have a limited amount of supply, so burning them, obviously, just like with Axis, is going to cause price to go up. So I do think when this project starts coming out, it's going to start kind of a hype train. So I wouldn't be sleeping on it for much longer. The other one is going to tends to travel together with Solid X. Actually, it's very well liquidity paired. And the Cabal, if you want to call them that, right? The influencer Cabal tend to be are kind of friends between these two communities. Excuse me. And that's going to be 9inch and BBC. Those ones are being kind of slept on right now, and there's no reason why they should be, other than just there's a shiny new object called PDAI and wrapped Bitcoin over here right now. So that's the reason why nobody knows that it's there. And that right there, it's still in a good price range. I've still got LPs with LPs paired with Pulse right now, because obviously Pulse is still lagging behind, but those ones are lagging too, which means I get free yield to now go out and buy whatever the heck I want. Mainly I've been actually just buying Pulse X, to tell you the truth, but
cool.
Yeah.
So Solid X and 9inch for Nate. How about you, Mr. Pulse X? What you got on your radar?
My mind just went blank now that you asked that. I just had it a second ago. Come back to me.
Will, how about you, sir?
I'm going to take your answer and put a different spin on it. I think that people don't take full advantage of all the opportunity that's available in the use case of bamboo in the real world. I fucking love bamboo as a plant. It's like my favorite grass. It's the coolest thing. You can like chop it down, make sticks out of it. You can like shred it apart and make baskets and things. Like you can turn it into clothes and stuff. I fucking love bamboo, and I'm going to be buying some seeds and planting them up at my house up here in New Hampshire. I think that people sleep on bamboo a lot. It is invasive, but if you learn how to trim it, you can stop it from overgrowing. So like, while I don't have any tokens or any coin advice to give to people or any like recommendations or things of that nature, I fucking love bamboo, and I love being able to use it to build things and to make stuff. And it's just one of my favorite plants. And I don't hear people talk about it very often. As far as cryptocurrency goes, I got no clue, bro. I'm really good at making bad decisions when it comes to cryptocurrency, and I basically stick to the core 4. The only thing outside of the core 4 that's like I think is pretty fun is the G'day token, which is Tom Gillespie's meme coin that he's had for a long time. I'm a big fan of Tom Gillespie, and the Tang Gang helped him launch that. He's made a lot of great documentaries on the Richard Hart ecosystem and on cryptocurrency stuff in general. So like, while I'm not shilling the token itself, like the dude Tom Gillespie is fucking awesome, and he's really cool, and y'all should go give him a follow on Twitter, and go plant some bamboo in your backyard and have some sticks to do things, make teepees, build houses, do all sorts of stuff. Frame in something, have a flagpole, all sorts of craziness. That's what I got.
Mr. Paul Sachs, you got yours?
Yeah. So outside of the core 4 for crypto here, I would say now they're finally starting to catch some fire. I had my eye after I saw what it was doing in January, February. I had my eye on PTGC. I was like, I don't know what's going on in the background, but I could see the chart keeps going up to the right. I don't know why. It threw our pump. It was like one of the only ones that didn't retrace back into Pulse when Pulse went up first, and then it didn't retrace back into like Pulse X when Pulse X went up in March. So I was like, yeah, something's going on in the background. And finally, I through digging, I will say, but I initially was turned off to it because I will say ignorant, but I was turned off to it because I was like, the naming structure, it's just wrong. It's just weird, it's dumb or whatnot. But I didn't realize that it's a meme. It's a play on, guys, it's unlike anything anybody's seen before. It's alien tech is what they're calling it, is what it is basically. So I do think once you learn about the liquidity pools on the backside and how big they are, and because there's millions of dollars in them and they force transactions, when you go to transact on a DEX and say the DEX, you're just going from Hex to Pulse. You don't realize that you're going through PTGC or you're going through UFO pools, but because their pools are so big, the AMM bot is getting the best deal. So it's pushing you through their pool, forcing, and then it's doing their reactions on the backside with their bots, which that's why their chart constantly looks like it goes up and to the right. It does retrace a little bit here and there, but it's like, I waited 9 months for PTGC to retrace. I waited until it finally, I think in May to June is when it finally did. So, because I wasn't going to buy a green candle. So I'm just telling you my experience. You guys, if you want to wait, it may be 9 months. The thing launched in October, and it wasn't a good opportunity to get in full correction until we got to like June into July. So
the strategy though, just like on the surface, well, if you force the market makers to go through your pools because your pools are so deep, well then that's price positive. That's a upward that's what do you call it? An upward force to price, right? It's a tailwind.
It's not only that too, but here's the crazy thing. They have a buy and burn as well.
Very nice.
So
it's a self-serving mechanism, and this is why they can say they don't need another human buyer, because it constantly, when it does that, it also buys and burns itself and feeds the liquidity pools to get bigger and bigger. So they just keep growing. So regardless, that's what I'm. You can see, and if you need more, there's a website Kong built called lookintoptgc.com. You can go and see the metrics of just the last 24 hours every day, both UFO and PTGC. You can see where each part of the fee structure is going to, even the rewards coming back to people. So it's pretty cool. It's a neat mechanism.
So
go for it.
So you're saying PTCG is being slept on right now?
It's starting to catch people like that. You can see the token holders are going up. Nobody's really talking about it. I mean, there are some people, like you'll have Sami mention it, or I think Ivan said once. You'll have it a little bit, but outside of you got Coach X being the face of it, you don't have you just have a just enough there. They're consistent. The marketing is consistent. It hasn't actually caught traction yet.
What does PTCG stand for?
Pulse the Gray's currency. So he originally tried to make it the Gray's currency, but I don't remember what the deal was. Something with the ticker it wouldn't take. So that's why it was PTGC, which I'm sorry, anybody European, it sounds like it's a terrible time for you guys to say PTGC.
Oh, well, because I was going to say PTCG is also the abbreviation for Pokemon Trading Card Game.
Oh, really?
So I know they've been making Pokemon coins, and so I wasn't sure if maybe that had come out. And I was going to say, if you think that's being slept on, I'd absolutely agree with that one.
Wouldn't that be PTCG?
Yes, Paul, but we're dyslexic, okay?
Okay.
Oh! The C and G, they kind of sound alike, you know? I'm sorry. I thought that's what I was hearing.
It's okay.
I want to know what this European joke is. It sounds like it's a funny joke, and it's going over my head completely. What is the...
I've heard anybody that's not a native English speaker, so they speak another language first, try to say PTGC, and it's effort. It's visibly thinking about it, effort, just to say those letters together in English.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes
I'm with Cass, though. Yeah, I'm with Cass. When I first heard of it, I was like, Pokemon trading card game? I was like, oh wait, no, it's the letters are switched around.
Yeah, so I'm not alone.
That's what my brain. That's the connection that my brain made.
Well, I wanted to say my slept-on coins are going to be XRP because that's the only thing I have, and then Sheeb because that's the only thing I have in my other wallet.
Real quick, I'll be short. I was listening to Morales this morning. He said, Pulse Chain people, I need you to go and set up your portfolio. Even if you just use it as a tracker, that's all you need to do. But so that way they can see that there's involvement, that there's demand from the Pulse Chain side. So he is reaching out. He's, he did also gripe a little bit. He's like, God, why'd you guys have to fork Ethereum, the full thing? It is so heavy. It's so expensive. Like there's so much, it sounds like there's a lot of demand on their side for doing the APIs. And so it's not, that's why it looks like when you look at like Morales, you're like, why is there not very much shit filled in it? There's just a lot of blank stuff for Pulse Chain. That's why.
Yeah. So
what is Morales for the folks at home who don't know?
That is
the hint is it's me. I'm the folks who don't know.
Ivan, Ivan on tech. That's Ivan. I think his last name is Morales. So Morales Money. I thought he changed it a little bit, but anyways, it's like I think of a more in-depth form of Deck Screener.
Okay.
They're going to give you some other metrics other than the stuff that Deck Screener gives you, but they have like they're using, what was the other one? Aurochs. They use some of the metrics from like Aurochs where they're judging, like looking at social media, looking at your SEO metrics and seeing how much hype is this thing building momentum outside of the chart. So they have a hype score, and you'll commonly see some of the Pulse Chain stuff like, hey, this thing's starting to bubble up, and next thing you know, within 2 to 5 days later, where that thing's starting to take off. So it works.
Yeah, the Pulse Chain community has definitely been making enough waves that Ivan is incorporating it to Morales, and he's not just making jokes about it, right? Because like Ivan tends to make jokes about Cardano. If Paul watches him regularly, like he'll know. But shame on you, Ivan, because you sold your Pulse Chain bag. Shame on you.
He sold his Pulse Chain bag last summer to buy Solana, to go to Solana. Yeah. It's just like, oh, can you stab us in the heart? Any heart, dude? Oh. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? If there's anything Richard likes to do, if there's anything rich people like to do, they like to fucking get in pissing matches with each other and put the thumb in each other's eyes. And I'll show you. So I'm not opposed, but that sucks. But he did say when he clarified that, he said, guys, I'm a momentum trade. I'm a momentum buyer. When there's momentum, I'll buy in. I'm okay with getting a 2 to an 8x. That's fine with me. So, all right, I understand your position. That's fine.
Yeah,
it's your wallets, right? It's your money.
Exactly. But at the very least, he doesn't try to FUD us, right? Like the fact that he's bringing it over to Morales means that he recognizes that there's demand, and he's like, well, if there's demand, we're gonna put it into our system. So I'm like, okay, cool, man. No hard feeling.
So he can see there's activity. What's that?
I'm looking to add pulse chain on my portfolio because it's only showing my Ethereum and my Polygon and my other chains. It is not showing pulse chain.
Well, maybe Ivan needs,
I'll fiddle around with it. Yeah. So it's for the folks at home who don't know. It looks like it's Morales.com, and the logo
that's the
like
change.
A blue and a purple M is what it looks like. Now I'm not going to drop the
remembering
link.
the old address used to be Morales Money. He did change it to Morales.com.
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, I'm not going to drop the link in the chats because I might be fucking myself over right now with my Condom wallet. So we'll see. We shall see. But anyways, that's cool sounding that he's doing this for he's including Pulsicans and Hexicans and all the Richard Hart folks in here. So
that's all we've begged for from even Coin Market Cap is like, hey, just recognize us accurately, please. Just treat us fairly. That's all we're asking.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Mrs. Magetta, you gave your thought, and it was XRP, and what was the other one?
Sheeb.
Oh, Shib. Okay, yeah, like the
Yeah.
little dog and everything.
Those are the only things I still have, and I didn't even know I had them until recently. I got bored, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go check and see if I still have any crypto in my stuff, and yeah, apparently I do. So otherwise, mostly I just handed it all to Nate. I gave him all my crypto, and I'm like, hey, do something with this, and I don't know what he's doing with it, but I'm gonna assume good things.
Awesome, possum. Well, listen, everybody, we're gonna do a quick round of chat shoutouts, and then we will go ahead and toss it around the panel. Oh, excuse me, asking where the folks can find you and what you've got going on in the near future. But it's time for the best part of the show. It's time for chat motherfucking shoutouts, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crypto degenerates, ducks and squirrels. So, Mrs. Producer, if you would be so kind as to go ahead and pull up some of these fantastic chat shoutouts. We're starting off with none other than Jonathan. I tell my grandma I'm pre-rich, and she says she's proud of me. That's absolutely fantastic. I love that your grandma is a team player. And perhaps she's got some Bitcoin and she's pretty rich too, and she's just not telling you about it. So that's excellent to see. Thank you so much, Justin. Or Jonathan, excuse me. Next up, we got Just Live. Hey, fellas, happy Turkey Day. Not going to mess around on BO6. I'm not sure what BO6
Black
is.
Ops 6.
Black Ops 6. Man,
Call of
there's
Duty
6
Black
of them
Ops.
already? Holy shit.
Yeah, that's wild.
Man, I stopped playing around 2. Holy
Same.
smokes. That's cool. That is awesome. Good for you, broski. I'm glad you enjoy it, and I'm glad you're having fun with the Black Ops. Next up in the chat shoutouts, it looks like we've got none other than Funkmaster Hex with his what's the word? Ubiquitous is not the right word. With the thing that he does every time, his predictable glass. Cheers to you, Mr. Funkmaster Hex. My glass is actually empty. I need to take because I poured it in here. I've got my my Dr. McGillicuddy's menthol mint, some old-fashioned people liqueur, mint flavored. So that's what I'm drinking, mixed in with some sparkly water. So cheers to you, Mr. Funkmaster Hex.
Would that be considered schnapps?
It might be. It might be schnapps. It's probably pretty close. It comes from Frankfort, Kentucky, but only authentic when signed. But I think that's essentially what schnapps is, right? It's just menthol liqueur, right?
Yeah, it's some type of mint. Yeah, it's mint.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, excellent. Good to see our homeboy, Mr. Funkmaster Hex, as always, and it's good to be drinking some delicious mint drinks. And speaking of good to see people, Miss Crypto Stylist says, "Happy Thanksgiving, Degens. Happy to you too, Miss Crypto Stylist. Good to see you. Welcome. I hope you're having a good morning wherever you are in the world. I believe Asia." Excellent. Next up in the chat shoutouts, we've got Surf and Coin. Great advice. Best families incorporate their kids into their life, but remember to take care of mom and dad. That's how it started. Happy parents make happy kids. Yes, this was some outstanding advice, I believe, given by Nate the Great, if I'm not mistaken, to Mr. Gaines by Casey. So whoever gave Casey that advice to include the kid in their life, but not make their life about the kid, that's some fantastic stuff. So shout out to you, good sir, and an excellent chat. Next up, we've got an OG in here. We've got none other than Black Label X-Pack Epic Stream. Good to see you, Black Label. Welcome. This is an OG, ladies and gentlemen. Black Label X-Pack is he's a Hex OG, and he's an excellent member of the communities in the cryptocurrency space. I remember seeing this guy for long times, long before I ever joined. So Good to see you, broski. Welcome, welcome. Glad you could make it to the chat. Speaking of people we're glad to see make it, we got next Crypto Chronic saying, "What's good, Degen fam? This has been a very special stream, and I saved it. Valuable info. I'm thankful for y'all. Always good to see you." Thank you, Mr. Chronic. That hits right home. I fucking love it. I love it when people tell me that the things that we're doing is effective and awesome and making a difference, because that means that we should keep doing it. And I like that kind of feedback. So thank you, good sir. Good to see you, Crypto Chronic. Next up in chat shadows, we've got none other than OBX Reaper. I'm not sure what that means, but he's offering us his heart on some blue little hands. So good to see you, OBX. Welcome, welcome to the stream. I'm glad you could make it. And ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that that concludes our chat shoutouts. And now it's time for us to go around and tell the folks at home what we're doing in the near future and where they can find us, starting with Mr. Nate McGettit, and then we'll go Mrs. McGettit, then Paul, then Agent J, and I will finish off.
Absolutely, yeah. You can find me at The Ascending Man on the YouTubes, right? I'm not going to have anything for this week because of Thanksgiving, right? Holiday off. However, I do have something lined up for next Thursday. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. But with that being said, I am always trying to give out as much valuable information as possible over on my X at The Ascending Man 369. So yeah, go ahead, just give me a follow over there. Also, if you guys have any suggestions for any kind of content that you want to see, I do have some new things, some new blue oceans that are going to be coming out. But yes, other than that, if you guys have any suggestions of things you would like to see, go ahead, just hit me up over there, or possibly in the Telegram as well, because that's also where I'm at, in which you need to scan that QR code. I said it at the beginning of the show. You need to listen to me. If you have not scanned it yet, get into that Telegram, and I mean, hey, just say hello. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to the Mrs. McGettit. How are you doing today? And where can people find you?
I am doing good. The only thing I'm looking forward to is navigating Thanksgiving with the fam. That'll be fun. They're an interesting bunch of people, but we'll have a good time. My grandma was really excited to get everybody together, so we're gonna go out there. We don't usually get together on Thanksgiving. We're kind of more like we just do Christmas usually for the most part. But yeah, so we're gonna go out there, hang out with them. I found out my little brother's getting pretty big into crypto, so Nate and him will probably be talking for the entire night with only themselves and nobody else. And yeah, so that'll be fun. Other than that, you can find me in the Telegram if you want to chat about anything that interests you. I do the thumbnails and like StreamYard stuff, and actually Will got me into a meeting with some folks the other day who were looking to learn more about like how to use Canva and just kind of some of the things that we do with StreamYards. They're looking to up their game. They're trying to like improve things. So we had a nice long chat about that, and I showed them some things that they didn't know was like that they could do with those programs. So that was really cool, and they seem really excited to like really dig into it now. So that was a lot of fun, and I am going to pass it over to Agent J. What you got going on? Oh, I'm sorry. I was going like diagonally, and then we go to Paul. Sorry.
It's a biggie.
I'm distracted me.
his eyes. Yeah. I am looking forward to getting up at 3 a.m. to go start smoking the turkey. So that's what I got going on. Yeah. 14-pound bird's going to take 7 hours, I think, is what it's judging.
Very cool. Very good.
Yep. You got to do that and take that out to my parents' house for their. My wife's parents are going to come over for the first time ever. So, our first time for Thanksgiving, we're just doing it, combining it all as one family, which we're thankful we don't have to go running around all day to different families' Thanksgivings. It'll be nice.
I thought it was the first time meeting the in-laws and first time cooking Thanksgiving dinner for them. I was like, shit, man.
No. I've been married almost 10 years. So, no, I've been through this rigmarole a few times. Thankful that people are playing ball together and want to combine stuff. So we're gonna see how this turns out. But Paul Sachs went on a X. If anybody wants to find me there.
Wonderful.
That's it.
Wonderful, sir. Well, as far as what I've got going on in the future, we have our flagship Sunday stream, and if it permits, if time permits, or if there is a necessity, I will do the regular emergency streams on our Telegram channel. So if you want to get on the Telegram, well, first and foremost, like the damn video, comment, subscribe, scan the QR code, because that's when you'll get into the Telegram channel so you can catch all the free alpha before YouTube ever gets it. You can find me on Instagram at agent_J Schroth, on X at _P90Hex. Thank you for joining us this wonderful Wednesday evening. And happy Thanksgiving to all of you. We know that time is your most valuable asset, so we do appreciate that you spend some of that time here with us on the Degen Roundtable. Until next time, Will, take us out.
Yes, real quick before I give my final goodbyes, we've had two people roll up into the chats. We've got Dr. H, the cryptopractor. Hey, dudes, always thankful, blessed to be here. Good to see you, Dr. H. For those of you guys that don't know, go check out Dr. H's YouTube channel. It's under the same name, Dr. H, the cryptopractor, where he streams every Sunday at noon. I believe Sunday at noon. Noon Eastern, I should clarify. So go check him out. He's super awesome. Gives some great advice about cryptocurrency. And I think at some point we're going to get him on this show. I still have to, Dr. H, I got to reach out to you, and I got to schedule a thing for us to pick your brain about medical advice, because I love what you were talking about over there on the effing Hangout. Speaking of the effing Hangout, we've got the Wild SJ appearing in chat. What's up, Wild SJ? Good to see you. Glad you could make it for the stream. We are just now wrapping up, so if you want to catch the replay, it's going to be fucking awesome. There's nothing but fantasticness. We even had somebody announce that they're going to be a father on stream. So shout out to that gentleman. And now you're going to have to go back and watch it to figure out who it is if you guys have missed it. Anyways, so good to see you guys. Thank you for hopping in, and glad to see that y'all could make it. Make sure that you guys like that smash button on your way out. For the folks at home who do not know, my name is Will Stevenson. You guys can get all of my socials at will.pls.fyi. That is my Pulse domain. You can find my Twitter there. You can find my Facebook there. You can find my Instagram. You can stalk me in all those places. I'm super duper doxed. No sweat, no problem. There's probably some pretty important things that I should take down from those things that identify like my locations and things. But I'm not terribly concerned about it, because I bounce around the state so often that it doesn't even matter. So good luck finding me. But that's where you guys can find all of my socials, is bounding out from will.pls.fyi. And if you're just a Twitter person, it's just Will Stevenson X, all one word. That is what I've got as far as things going on in the near future. There is the next book club is going to be the following Friday, not the Friday coming up, but in 9 days from now, when we are going to be covering the so this book was recommended to us by our very own Moon-Pilled Rational Optics, who is always in the chat and always producing a ton of value. I'm trying to find the book name. Oh yeah, it's Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. So that's going to be the book that we're covering on, I think it's December 8th. Yes, looking like December 6th. December 6th, we will be covering Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. As Jay said earlier, there will probably be a stream on Sunday. I don't know if we're going to have, I don't know if anyone else on the team is going to do things on Friday or any of the other days. I'm going to be flying, so that's why we're postponing the book club as I was hosting it. So if anyone else on the team decides to hop on stream and do some stuff, then y'all can check it out, or hop on over into the Degen Roundtable, where we do lots of lives from the Telegram live feature thing. Wow, I'm stumbling across words yet again in the show. It's almost like I do this every week and forget about it each and every time. And speaking of things we do each and every week, it's time to wrap the show up. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for spending your valuable time with us here on the Degen Roundtable. As Agent J often says, we know that time is your most valuable asset, and we appreciate you investing it right here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Will Stevenson, but more importantly, you have been watching the Degen Roundtable. Mrs. Producer, go ahead and get that trigger finger ready, because it's time to remind all the folks at home to remember to Degen responsibly.